Welcome to the Mortal Kombat Pro competition. Are you ready?
These are already the top players on the planet. My head cannot be contained right now. Sonic Fox never won Mortal Kombat at Combo Breakers.
What?
Tweety looks like the deer in headlights.
Sonic Fox is in here. Oh, and he's coasting through.
Can't Scar fool him off.
Sonic Fox got too heavy and it's Scar! Scar takes it! Undefeated the entire weekend.
Welcome everybody to CEO. Baby, we are going to be throwing down. Battle of the Foxes indeed. Oh no, that's going to do it. 3-0 over Foxy Grandpa. This is the two strongest players in our scene.
Again!
Another one! But Sonic Fox is coming to life here.
That is it! Sonic Fox takes it! It's 3-1! You are watching Vianality 2019. This is an international showing in February. Foxy Grandpa versus Tekken Master. Losers finals. How many times is this man gonna guess right? And that's gonna be it. Tekken Master eliminating Foxy Grandpa.
Oh, he disrespects. Oh, mirror match.
He has breakaway, but this is the damage is good. What?
Oh, my God!
And the hard-earned crowd shout.
Top 8 here at Evolution 2019. We're almost at the halfway point of the pro competition.
Dragon has been an absolute buzzsaw, and now it's on Tekken Master.
What?
Got him. Dragon is on the cusp.
Oh, give me the question. Dragon is going to make it to Grand Finals.
Who else would it be but Sonic Fox and Dragon?
Yes. The news. Guess what of the foot? And Sonic Fox is your Evolution champion.
Hello, my friends, and welcome once more to the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition, where we are now here, smack bang in Dublin, Ireland, ready for the next stop on this worldwide pro competition. Welcome, I am, of course, B&D Mustard, and I am joined in commentary by the always fabulous Mr. Ackerman, who is your first time going to be commentating here on European, I suppose, this side of the world soil. How has your general trip been? How are you feeling about the vibe of this Irish event?
Nothing short of amazing. This is my first time ever leaving the States in general, and getting to meet so many people that I've known within the scene, the NRS scene, for so long has been nothing short of just great, guys. Everyone watching from home, this has been an absolute treasure for me. Getting to travel here, getting to see things, from your guys' perspective, getting a taste of your guys' scene here, hands-on. So many of these guys have been involved in the scene for so long. They get such little chances, like this. And so it's exciting to be here on the pro competition, such a big moment for them. And this is one of the most stacked events of the pro competition. And for it to be here in Europe, this might be the most stacked European event that has happened in NRS.
It is definitely up there with potential most stacked tournament that I think the European NetherRealm scene has ever seen, right? And it's not just because of the kind of what you might expect of the top European representation here. We have had a large amount of North American, as a general region. I know I always say Americans and kind of just lump the Canadians in with them, even though I'm morely referring to the region overall. But the point is, a lot of players from that part of the world have actually made the trip over here for Ireland, as we are now. As you just saw before the stream even started, our mid-season trailer has gone out, which means that we are officially over the halfway point in the pro competition, which means that our point standings are starting to get quite scary for those players that are not exactly close to those top 12. As to kind of reiterate and remind those of you at home that might not have thought about it in a while, the top 12 players from the leaderboards will make it through to the world finals through the pro competition standings. So if you're not top 12, it doesn't matter. And as we get to this
final
point,
combat, and this is going to be a really big stop in determining that, because a lot of the guys didn't travel to this event, and the ones that did are trying to really solidify themselves in this pro competition. A lot of the guys that are already in the top 12 are here and trying to, again, cement their position. And we talked about earlier how stacked these pools are. Going through each and every single one of them, I'm naming 6 to 7 names that I'm just like, I don't want to run into any of these players. So many, almost all of the strong European scene is here. Others from around other parts of the world here in these early pools. We've got Mr. 5000 from Africa. We have a couple of representatives, of course, from the Middle East. We see people all over the place here already. And on this stage, to get us started here at Celtic Throwdown is going to be Majin Weeaboo.
AKA, it's not even optimal.
It's not even
the
optimal.
man in the flesh himself. Of course, bringing in that Scarlet, he's going to be coming up against Shang Tsung here, who is now officially and truly legal, and he's been out for quite some time, right? You know, even Nightwolf has been released, so Shang Tsung no longer the neutral on the block. But we actually haven't even talked about it. The balance patch.
Yes.
These are two characters that have received various changes to the patch. Scarlet's poke's got a lot better, and obviously Jail is more of a universal thing. You know, low pokes doing better. Shang Tsung took quite a considerable damage on that ground eruption, but Lordigan still going to be sticking with that Warlock Shang Tsung. Hoping to do well. This will be a very long-range matchup. It's very two zoner-heavy characters for sure.
What we're seeing here is just a full-screen battle of attrition. No, you're absolutely right. The balance changes have occurred. This is the first offline major event of the pro competition. We're going to see those changes in effect. And what is the difference that we're going to see when we get to the later stages of this tournament? That's what I'm incredibly excited to see. Going to get some decent damage here. The breakaway from Lordigan here. Gonna get a little bit of health back with a forward throw, and they're gonna even here. Let the bodies hit the floor, and another one! Didn't have the bar to amplify though. Majin Weeaboo on life support, and look at the hitbox of the body coming down, hitting behind him there.
I feel like that was Weeaboo's round to win though. I feel like he had the lead for the majority of the time, but I mean, to be fair, game one of the day, first stream round, like, you know, it's early morning for these guys.
This is a feeling out phase right now.
A little bit of time to kind of get used to it.
You can see the hesitation right from both of them. They'll get the hit, don't want to go in, be the aggressor, they want to sit back, and right now Majin Weeaboo playing that health lead perfectly.
I think you kind of need to do that with Scarlet because it's. I feel like.
Goodness, that was so.
That was really cool. That was really cool. I feel like Scarlet with a life lead is more dangerous than most because she can still heal as well. So even though she has the lead that you're looking at, before you know it, okay, now she's full health again. Oh, big jump. I like it. Gonna get a little bit of health back. Two characters that both
that's
get a nice amount of that vitality return. Oh, big jump kick, but no confirm.
Oh, he could have gotten something massive off that. Had the stature to restand in the corner. Gonna get a little more health back. He's been floating around this 100 health the whole time.
There's the minus, good blocks. The patience of Lordigan, but presses buttons and gets opened up for it into full screen. And this is, so I feel like Lordigan, he looks a lot more comfortable from a distance because when he gets close, we're not seeing a lot of hit confirms. We're seeing him pressing when he's minus. But from a full distance, that's when he's a bit more, I suppose, ready for like these projectiles, the hit confirms on them, obviously the use of the corpse drop. But without the life lead, he can't really do it.
Yeah, he needs to be careful with some of these trades. That fireball is not going to out-damage these blood bubbles that are coming in hot. These tongues, oh, the slow one's so scary to deal with. You're frozen. You're frozen still when you see that thing on the screen.
But that slow blood ball, when you do have the life lead, and it's like Shang Tsung, like he's not one of those characters that has to teleport. He hasn't got those kind of instant repositioning. So the slow blood ball, combined with the projectiles you're going to be sending alongside it, is going to keep him there. Tries to go for the reversal fatal blow, but isn't close enough. And unfortunately, that is going to be a complete stomp in that life bar for Majin Weeaboo as he goes up a firm game one.
What a turnaround. That definitely, you know, once he had the health lead, was full screen, he looked very comfortable. When he did not have the health lead, it looked a little bit different.
But at the same time, Lordigan definitely didn't have quite the same level of tidiness, I think, as the rounds went on. I think he looked quite comfortable early on, but the second he got on that back foot, not quite able to keep it going. But I feel like it's very easy to kind of fall into that vortex when you are playing a very keep-away-oriented zoning matchup, right? Because it's not really a match of get the life lead and sit on it. It's the whole game, for the most part, is going to be, we are playing this fireball war. The question is, who's going to be able to do the most damage? Like, it's knowing exactly how much damage yours does. Like, how much does the straight skull do? How much does the corpse do? Which on block? Like, if I hit one, can I do another one? And then from Scarlet, it's thinking the exact same thing. So it's a matchup of, you know, when he's going to tongue, what do I do? Do I block the tongue and then take a fireball? But then you've got long buttons on top of it. Majin Weeaboo is just, can tell he's very comfortable in this matchup, despite how it must be played.
Absolutely. What I've seen so far, Lordigan looks like he has had trouble being the aggressor in this matchup, right? Trying to make his way in. He's not, he learned early on that he's not winning the zoning war, and he has eaten so many projectiles just trying to dash in, walk in, and when he's finally gotten in that strike distance, he has just gotten outspaced by Majin Weeaboo. We have seen so many things whiff in front of his face, and Scarlet is one of the best mid-range whiff punish characters in this game. And what he's done with those whip punishes, he just reset the neutral, put him back full screen, either gained some health back, and he's just kept this health, and he's playing this perfectly, if I'm being honest with you.
But he even things down to, like, you know, for example, this be a combo, goes to the breakaway. decides to go in for the Yoki, seeing there's no defensive bar for Lordigan, but that's like the first time we've seen him actually go in after getting a hit. Majin Weeaboo's been so content to just take a hit, knock Lordigan full screen, keep him there, like exactly this. He gets a knockdown and has no interest in going in. He just needs to keep the distance because this is working, and one hit at a time. He is very close to advancing through this first round game. Lordigan spending both bars on those fireballs. That might come back to hurt him, as it will, as Majin Weeaboo is going to seal the deal. And we haven't even talked about it. This was to fight Dragon.
It sure was. Look at Dragon sitting back going, I think he might be getting on him. I mean, he looks like he's ready to hop on.
Dragon, of course, one of the handful of American players or North American players that have made the trip down. Dragon hasn't actually been to a international event like this since, I believe, Versus Fighting 2000 and, was it 17? His first opponent is FR Stack, who is not a name that is kind of well known in the international scene for sure, but a name that goes back to year one of Mortal Kombat 9. Ooh. FR Stack has always been an Irish player, always kind of supported and tuned into the scene. But I haven't seen him at an event. Like, I've known of Stack, and we've just casually talked online back in the TYM original MK9 days, but I've never met the guy. And here we are, like 8 years later, we're going to see him play. Later. 8 years on.
And that's why I'm so excited to be here. A lot of these faces that I have just met for the first time, I've known the entire time I've been in the scene, which has been.
And I'm even from this part of the world, and it's even happening to me as well. But of course, we have, you said before, Undead Jim, hot off his top 8 place in that Versus Fighting.
Yes,
this will be his first pro competition event. He's going to be facing off against Juicy Joe, who is a name that some of the UK boys are talking about. Hang on a minute, watch out for this guy. He's got an amazing name for sure, but at the same time, he actually isn't bad at the game.
That's a sick background on that PlayStation, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, some of these PlayStation themes are like top tier. Have you seen the PS2 one, the PlayStation 2 one? That gives you all the PS2 sound effects?
I have. No.
I want it. I don't know if you can just buy it. I mean, I use one that I will not name, but I really want to get the PlayStation 2 one, or if there's even a PS1 one. But of course, this pool also has WhiteBlack in it as well, and VideoGamesYo,
yes,
the Shao Kahn of the universe.
WhiteBlack has had a lot of results here in MK11. He has gotten, was it 5th at the?
He got 9th at Versus Fighting. He did well at Fighting Games Challenge.
Yep. 9th at Versus Fighting, and top 16 at Viennality.
Yes.
He has had a really good MK11 so far
Yeah, he
this
took
year.
out MK Azerbaijan, who is also here as well. WhiteBlack is just... He's always been known for being a very strong European fighting game player. He didn't quite have the same level of success in MKX. Like, he was successful in the game, but it wasn't quite as much as we see now. Whereas in MK11, he really has just clicked with this game. Obviously, him alongside a bunch of the other French guys, they all train together now. Yes. The French community for NetherRealm has really gone from strength to strength through the years. But that's a story for later on, as we are about to get stuck into Majin Weeaboo, bringing out that Liu Kang that is the other character he plays in tournaments. I believe it's a Scarlet and Liu Kang team.
We actually had a conversation with him yesterday about this match that he might potentially run into against Dragon here, and he said there's no way I'm playing Scarlet in that match. 100% Liu Kang. He wants to be in his face. He wants to be pressuring him, putting him at +3, doing these staggers. But Dragon, one of those guys, post update, this is a character to 100% prep for.
Well, I mean, you're looking at 2 of what a lot of the community are considering to be top 3 material, right? Like Cetrion and Liu Kang are very frequently up in that discussion for being the best in the game right now, and you're about to see why. Majin Weeaboo, that Liu Kang just has that relentless pressure and an amazing ability to just go for plus frames into plus frames, good staggers.
I know exactly what he was going for right there. He was trying to put out a 1-2, and he put in the 1-2 early, and he only got the stand 2. I know exactly what that feeling is. He just wanted to be plus right there, Mustard. That's all he wants to be, is plus on block. Can you blame him?
But the thing is, Dragon at the same time, if there's one matchup he's coming into this tournament prepared for, it's going to be Liu Kang, because, I mean, everyone and their mum at this point is playing this character, right? Like, a lot of people have flocked to him as, like, if you're a rushdown player.
Especially here in EU, there are a lot of Liu Kang mains, that even pre-patch.
Oh, no, absolutely. Okay, and there it is, that reversal throw. Into the corner you go, and that screen position behind. But Dragon going in with this advantage.
And all of the staggers that Cetrion can do, just eat your health bar up. She is not a damaged character. She's just an eat away at that health bar, chip away at it. That's exactly what we're seeing so far. And she's all about control.
Well, but speaking of control, there's much more to it. And that was a beautiful punish there on the whip fireball. A lot of people will talk about Cetrion's kind of relentless keep away game. But Dragon really has the kind of the lock on that amazing footsie style too, right? The whiff punishes, the buttons, the anti-airs. It's so much more than just keep away.
When you piece it all together, she's got such a complete game plan. She's got some of the best dashes in the game. That back dash, absolutely ludicrous. Dragon going into some massive damage here. We're talking about her not being a damaged character. Her crushing blows hurt, and then he mixes up right there. Oh my goodness, that was just a beautiful sequence there by Dragon to get us started here, going up 1-0 on Majin Weeaboo.
That life bar is what I would like to call a competitive flawless, where the only damage you took was chip damage that you intended to take.
So everyone talks about her zoning, her keep away, her control, and we try our best to talk about her pressure as best we can. It is incredibly strong. She's got one of the best stagger games in this game, and she is really good at utilizing the dash cancel mechanic.
Yes.
She's all about that in her pressure, the dash canceling into stand one, back dashing, and then going back in. Like
giving
she's
yourself
really
that initial burst of range
Yes.
on top of buttons that already go really far.
She sets up whiff punishes incredibly well, very hit confirmable strings. She's very good.
But there is a reason.
At the end of the day, she's a very good character.
I mean, we do see a lot of Cetrion in tournaments. There's no getting around that fact. But there's a reason Dragon is the one that we're seeing do the most success with her, because this is a Dragon character through all intents and purposes. Now Dragon going in again with that pressure. We haven't seen any keep away from him at all in this entire set, because he just hasn't needed to. He's feeling so confident about his rush down as once more Majin Weeaboo is officially on half-life already, and we've just begun this round.
I don't think we've
clean!
Oh my goodness. I don't think we've seen a single forward 4 out of Liu Kang.
He hasn't been in range.
That
That's
is
it.
insane
Dragon is
to
just
think about.
His arm is out, and he's just like, no, mortal, you are not coming close to me. That is where you are going to stay.
And that's exactly what Cetrion, I feel, would do as well. He's the embodiment of Cetrion. He really does love the character. And you got to love a player that, has that passion for a character on top of, playing him competitively.
Hey, man, he came out with a Cetrion cosplayer with him at CEO. Like, he likes this character.
Oh, there we go.
And it connects. The first one we see, and it hits. And then both bars spent. You can tell Weeaboo, he really wants to load up that crushing blow. And the interruption instantly into the counter hit.
Crushing blow to himself. The breakaway, though, to avoid that damage. And corner carried in that situation. You got to be scary. Oh, my gosh, that 1-1. Her 1-1-2 string is one of the strongest in this game.
But look at the resource management, too, right? Majin Weeaboo finally found some offense, and he had to spend both defensive bars and offensive bars to get it. Whereas Dragon, he has had almost full resources the whole time. Oh. Okay, reversal throw. Majin Weeaboo, I do want to count him out here. This is Liu Kang, and if he gets a good sequence going, interruption. Oh, he blocked, and Dragon again. Only twice have we seen that situation, and Dragon, first the interrupt, second, the adaptation, instant adaptation from Dragon. Beautiful stuff, and a clean 2 games over Majin Weeaboo, and Dragon is going to be advancing through on the winner's side with relative ease.
He's looking strong there. Set up so many whiff punishes. He didn't let Majin Weeaboo get any of the Liu Kang game plan going. No 1-2s, no forward 4s, only the 1. And in 4 games against Liu Kang, how many of us can say that we've gotten Liu Kang to not pressure me, except and that wasn't even pressure. That ended up being a whiff punish.
But think about it. It wasn't like he was, kind of improvising on the spot. Dragon clearly went in there with a game plan. We saw a handful of buttons used and nothing more. We saw standing 1, we saw advancing mid, and we saw the crushing blow, launching string, and maybe the wall. That was pretty much all we saw Dragon use for the entire set, because he didn't need anything else.
That's right.
And they're not mix-ups.
Very little zoning, too.
Yep,
When I saw like 2 Hell's Wraths, no boulders at all. He knew exactly what he needed in that matchup, because Liu Kang's got those full-screen threats. In Flying King, has good zoning himself.
I actually don't think we saw a single boulder the entire game.
Nope, none.
We didn't need to.
Yeah, and I may be wrong. And the only thing that I only saw 1 Hell's Wrath, and it went over a low projectile of Liu Kang, so he did it like at the perfect time. To get a nice trade.
But that really is that next layer of how to play a character and bring it to tournaments, right? It's not just knowing what's good about the character, it is the matchups. We are on officially over. I mean, is this the 4th month, or is this like going into month 4? I think it's over 4 months.
Something
now.
like that. We are some way through the game.
But that is more than enough time for these matchups to be explored in that level of depth.
And we're going to move to Pool A number 2 now. And I think that this is the matchup that I've got written down here. I think this is Foxy, and that looks like DanteDemonZ.
It is DanteDemonZ.
I'm pretty sure that I recognize him from his Twitter picture over the past few years. I know him back into MKX, coming into the scene. I remember interacting with him on Twitter, really getting competitive then. I don't know if he's been around since before then, but really good to see him here offline. Also in this pool on Foxy's half of the bracket.
It's really stacked.
Let's just get into it.
So we have of course, DanteDemonZ and Foxy. DanteDemonZ just defeated double box 2-0 to get here. Ikesy is here. He did win a couple of the Road to Celtic Throwdown qualifying events, including Hyper Combo Unchained, which is the event that I organized. He came to Leicester and he won our tournament, and he got himself a qualified spot from there, as well as he won Play Expo in Manchester also. He's defeated his first opponent, Wolfman Cometh, and he is awaiting the winner of Used for Glue versus Mushisha, which is Used for Glue is definitely...
Used for Glue on this half of the bracket, you know, us old heads look back at the MK9 era, the Injustice 1 era, and these were two of the strongest EU players for a very long time. And I haven't seen Used for Glue in some time, but really good to see him back here competing. It's unfortunate that he has to be on Foxy Grandpa's half of a bracket early on.
Yeah, and on the other side, we have Nubcakes, who is in the bracket. I don't know if Nubcakes is actually here, though.
I haven't seen him in person.
I felt like we would have seen him by now if he was here, but I don't want to say never. Hopefully he is. And Ladno, one of our Irish lads, is going to be playing as well. But there's no getting around it. That this half of
Arm Devil in there as well on the bottom half of the bracket.
But he has been DQ'd, unfortunately. Arm Devil was a no-show, unfortunately.
I have to ask the question: is Wolfman Cometh an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference? I need to find him and ask him that question in person.
Just be like, you, tell me this.
Musisha, I also had a conversation with, who just fell to Used for Glue on the winner's side, 2-1. Used for Glue advancing, and he will be facing Ikesy there.
Who does Mushisha play? I actually haven't seen him play myself.
I haven't seen him play either, but I did get my first interaction with him just a couple days ago on Twitch. Met him for the first time. Was streaming, tossed a host. It was really cool. Check him out on Twitch. It was really cool just to only see that name for the first time a couple days ago. See him in person. He came up, said his name, and it was so cool. That's what this community is all about, guys. The interactions.
It's why I'm happy that Europe gets these pro competition opportunities, right? Because there are a number of players that wouldn't normally travel to events that, I mean, they see the prize pool, they see the chance at some world tour points, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to go to this one. And then we finally get to see them play. But it looks like Foxy Grandpa. Of course, DanteDemonZ is a Cetrion player, but Foxy, with that Kung Lao, we have not seen his Lao in some time. We saw him run vast majority Shang Tsung at EVO. We did see a little bit of Kung Lao there, but it was mainly Shang. And honestly, since the patch, Foxy is playing a different character every time I watch him play.
Also, I just looked out of the corner of my eye. Nubcakes is here.
He is?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. I had no idea. I haven't seen him post about it. Normally, if someone posts on Twitter, like, I actually haven't seen him. For all I know, he has posted, and I just haven't seen it.
We just haven't seen it. Foxy coming into this event, I didn't know who he was going to play, if I'm being honest with you. He has been playing so many characters casually, training with other top players. Last time I played him, he was rocking Devora, and he was loving the character.
I mean, he's been playing Devora, he's been playing a lot of Nightwolf, who of course is still under the competitive ban.
I think we're going to see a lot of Nightwolf out of Foxy when that character's
for sure.
That is such a Foxy Grandpa character. We'll talk about Nightwolf a little later on, as we have got the Kung Lao right now, teleport working. The Z-Hack going to be able to get the pick up too. None for the kills. We got the breakaway available here out of Dante, and that is just the mix right there. The hits on a down 3, is he going to pressure? Are you going to disrespect? And he does it multiple times. Such a good philosophy that Foxy has, or such a good approach to fighting.
I mean, it is that, you know, we say it every event because it never stops being prominent. This is that kind of bare bones style, but it works.
Okay, this is story time. Before MK11 launched, a lot of us were in a vortex of what are we going to play until MK11 comes out. Me and a bunch of other players, including Foxy, played For Honor, and I can't tell you guys how triggering it was to play that game with him, because he played it just like Mortal Kombat, and he just threw us to death. It was ridiculous. We're like, why are you playing NRS games in a game like this? It was so cool. But that's just his
But I'm
style.
not at all surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, that clean hand, yeah.
He literally went to the lab, as he is one hit from taking this, went to the lab and said, this character has the best throw rate.
Also, throw brutal
most
incoming.
advantage.
Throw brutal incoming,
100%.
1000%.
He only scouts throw downs, and there it is.
There it is.
I would say he has the most brutalities on the pro competition.
I would say for sure. I don't think any player has as many brutalities in tournament as Foxy does. And like worldwide MK, I would say he's won that. In fact, I would love someone to go back through all the streams, if I might even do it myself, and count each throw brutal that he has got in competitive play.
Someone just accepted that challenge, I guarantee it.
I hope so. I really hope so. But my favorite thing about that was, as it happened and the brutality connected, I looked at the stage. Foxy has just got the biggest word I will not say eating grin on his face. and Dante was just shaking his head. It was like the complete polar opposite. Like, you know that like weird face app that like puts a smile on any character?
Yeah.
That was Foxy's face.
That was Foxy just...
But that is just one game down, though.
It's the face of you get what you want, right?
He's like, yeah, I did do it.
Yeah.
But now it's happened. But genuinely, all jokes aside, I genuinely feel like that helps him close out games. Because people are so convinced that he's going to go for the throw brutal that they start squirming. He has started to use 1-2,
Yeah, 1-2.
which is, you know, front punch, back punch, for the somewhat auto shimmy properties, right? Auto shimmy is a term that goes out a lot where it's a string that it's kind of hard to defend against both the string being completed and a delay for a throw at the same time. Most strings have a way of kind of defending against both. Auto shimmy strings, you can't. You're going to have to just choose one or the other. And that, you know, Kung Lao's 1-2 has elements of that. And Foxy never used to do it, but since the patch has started to do it a little bit, which for someone that uses as few buttons as he does, that's huge. That's like a game changer for that game style.
And again, for someone that you almost know is going to throw you.
Yep.
And so for you to get auto shimmied, you're going to launch into a full combo, eat a lot more of that damage. That's a nice swing from Dante right there, tired of this oppressive pressure that Fox has put on him here in the corner. Gonna generate something here. Look for throw himself.
We've seen so much crouches, but not quite enough. Good throw tech from Dante. And again, I love the way Dante is defending against this style. It gets thrown eventually, though. It feels inevitable.
It most certainly does.
Oh, another one.
Here we
Escape
go.
failed. This is real bad now.
Life support.
Oh, he could throw punish the roll. Oh, he got him again. Oh.
And there it is. I looked up at the stage.
Oh, the new brutality pose.
Just because of that, shouts to, in that patch, a lot of these characters got a second win pose in their brutalities. Really cool stuff.
It's as someone.
It actually changes some of the properties of some of the brutalities. It's really interesting. I'm gonna give you an example. With Kronika, he's got one where he leaves your sword in you after cutting you in half.
Right.
But he has a win pose that uses the sword. So the 50-50 is he'll leave the sword in you if he does like the praise the sun. But he'll take the sword like out of you and use it for his second one.
Why didn't you just get another sword? Why didn't you leave that one in and then
I don't know.
I would expect that.
Would you carry two like 7-foot swords around though?
I mean, I think I wouldn't, but I think Kronika would.
Kronika might.
I think he definitely would. Oh, okay. So who we got taken up to the stage? It will be, of course, Nubcakes. So that answers our question before. You were correct seeing him in the crowd. Is this the first time Nubcakes has traveled to Europe? I don't think I've ever seen him at a European event before.
And Nubcakes is one of those guys that is going to do something to last, like, give himself his best chance to try to get into something like the final combat. Just like we saw through, if you remember back in Injustice 2, he went through the, oh man, what was that called? The GameStop
Hometown Heroes.
Hometown Heroes, that's right.
Hometown Heroes.
And he found his way into E-League through that alone, you know, and he put himself in a great position where he ignored the offline and found himself his best chance to get points, to get in. And here at Celtic Throwdown may have thought that this would be his best chance to get some of these offline points, because this is where a lot of the points are going to be accumulated.
Maybe, but he will be against Sithari.
Little did he know he walked into a lion's den of of players here at Celtic Throwdown. This is no light tournament on the stop.
No, and honestly, it makes me really happy to see this kind of like level of traveling, because that's been a consistent thing for pretty much most of the players of the world right now. Like, kind of like when you really look at like the top level of players, right? Loads of American events have had a decent amount of European, UK, Middle East, Australian, Russian travel, right? Evo this year was not only the biggest tournament we've ever had as a community, but also I think the most representation in regions and countries and all these different scenes, and multiple scenes within the game. I believe that the players on stage are being talked to. I think they're making sure the health bars are lowered or something like that. That's usually, I feel like that's the infamous change for this game is lower the health bars, quick, lower the health bars.
So one thing I want to talk about from this pool and the player that we just saw, Foxy, is that aside from Sonic, who has placed what, second, first, and first on his 3 offline pro competition events, Foxy has placed no worse than 5th, and he has been to the most offline pro competition events.
So Foxy Grandpa is the only player in the world that can boast that he has a 100% pro competition attendance rating alongside a 100% top 8 appearance rating at said pro competition event. That is ridiculous. When you look at how every tournament in the pro competition has had its own kind of special thing about
points on the pro competition. You guys can check that out, by the way, at any time at mortalkombat.com/esports. Everything you need to know about the pro competition is there. I use it all the time when I was looking back at the brackets for a lot of these players, going to the Intercontinental portion, hitting all the smash GGs. I'm right there in the bracket. Check out the results.
It's really nice being able to kind of see the progression of these players. You know? And Nubcakes especially as well is one of those that is interesting to watch because Nubcakes has been not quite as successful in MK as he has been historically. I think Injustice 2 was his best game that we've seen him have. Right now he had a really clean Batman. But he's definitely no slouch in MK11 either, I should say.
He has one good showing at CEO, getting top 16 with a 13th place finish.
But also, it looks like he's still playing Jackie, which has me very excited, because Jackie did receive some nerfs. But fundamentally, her game plan is the same, with the difference of her having to be a bit more smart about what clinch ender to go with.
Yes.
But she's still Jackie.
She's still hitting hard. She got a nice little slap on the wrist, but this is still Jackie Bay Briggs. And wow,
I think it was a buffer. I think he buffered it.
Yeah?
Definitely. I think he buffered that preemptively.
I was about to say, chat, play a great game here in fighting games. Was that a commitment or a confirmation?
did he commit or buffer?
Exactly.
What was it? Oh, wow. And this is going to be that Jackie-style Nubcakes, just harassing one chunk of damage at a time.
That's always been the Nubcake style. It's been just oppressive offensive pressure.
Oh, that was a whip punish for sure. And this is looking dominant Nubcakes. Look, he's not here to mess around as Sathari unfortunately goes down very quickly back to the wall. Oh, what a jump from Nubcakes. Goodness.
Just a massive read. You know what, for Sathari, that projectile may not have been the wisest choice with his back to the corner there. In that situation, you really outspace Jackie with Scarlet's buttons, and you want to utilize that a little bit more when you're in that range, right? If you throw out that stand 3, look for the jump-ins like we're seeing there. But he just hasn't got the game plan going. Hasn't gotten the hits, hasn't gotten a full screen, hasn't been able to initiate any kind of zoning. He has just been eating this pressure from Nubcakes. He's already back to the corner here.
Yeah, this is looking pretty one-sided. Sathari, he's found some moments to get out, but these jumps. Nubcakes jumped 3 times in that round, and every jump changed the flow of it straight away. The first one clean jumped over a projectile. The second one was as Sathari committed to the overhead, which of course for Scarlet, her overhead scythe is one of the slower in the game. And the third one there was just to get that last little bit of pressure. That's the difference, right, between a player that looks like they just jump all the time, between a player that jumps frequently, but for good reason.
Yes.
You know, you're not just kind of brainlessly holding up and hoping for the best. You're jumping because there is a specific option you are looking for.
Is he brainlessly holding up, though, because he did play Batman?
Different game, man. New game, new me. Batman could do it, because Batman could call the trait.
I looked behind you and Dragon laughed at that. That was pretty good, right?
This Batman could call the trait and then just hop around like the ground was on fire, but like... In this game, the thing is, jumps are good in this game as well.
Yes,
like
they are.
a lot of jump kicks, a lot of character-specific jump kicks have amazing priority. Not like Scarlet, definitely not known for the best anti-airs in the game. So you know, I understand that.
They gave so many characters in this game what I like to call the God Kick of MKX, which is incredibly active and has that nice downward hitbox to it. That's really hard to anti-air. You know, Scorpion Sub-Zero had that back in MKX.
And a large amount of characters will combo quite easily from jump kicks too. You know, Jackie, at the very least, will get like a dash punch. And Nubcakes are dominating first round once more.
Or was it 4-2-2 or back 2-2?
Oh, I'll tell you what it is. Crushing blow dash punch.
Right there. Here comes that pressure, and I've seen quite a few times Sathari pressing buttons on hit, which is something you do not want to do against Jackie. If you see anything hit, you know a forward 4 is coming.
I do wonder if there's elements of...
Whoa!
Ooh.
That was cool.
We saw him try that in the first game to no avail, but this time... Sathari now is just, every time he tries to move, the delay from Nubcakes with Sathari. Okay, there's an opportunity, but no confirm. I think you can't afford to miss out. Even if it's like a little special you should have got. Like, it's placement, it's a bit more damage.
Oh my goodness, it looks like Nubcakes is incredibly comfortable right now.
That's it, that's gonna be it.
That is enough for the kill, no breakaway for Sathari, and he took every fighting game. Gather here in Ireland is one of the coolest sights I've seen.
It's not something we see too frequently in Europe.
Yes.
I know, of course, other games will see it quite a lot because there are a lot of events that have the worldwide presence. They have to travel the same way as ours, right? The pro competition is a worldwide thing. It's the same for a lot of other games too. But with the 2 events we have here, the fact that both events have had that kind of international representation, I know that Vianality, of course, the only North Americans that traveled in for that were Bio, Honeybee,
Canada.
and Hayate, who, of course, the Canadians, they're from North American region, but they're not even American. And Hayate won that event. And now, maybe
Canada has won that kind of back-to-back, haven't they?
They just play really well in Vienna.
They do. They really
like,
do. But this year, it was surprising to see the duo of BioB out of top 8, but both getting knocked, I believe, in
I
Vienna.
feel like both Bio and Honeybee have had the same problem where their character choices have been. I don't want to say bad because they pick who they want to play, and it's not like either of them just gets body. Right?
Both of those characters got better with the last
But
patch.
that's the thing. Bio was known for just being the best Kano, right?
Yes.
Real good mindset for grapplers. We've seen him play New Era. We've seen him play Bone Picker. Any character with a command grab. We've seen him play Jax. He
I saw
loves
him try
that
Kotal
archetype.
for 2 days.
Oh, it's a shame it didn't last, really.
Nope.
But it looks like Undead Jim did manage to defeat Juicy Joe. He's going to be coming up against Mr. 5000.
Mr. 5000.
But then, of course, now we've seen from Bio a lot. We've seen him play...
Dirtbag Kano.
Oh, wait, Undead Jim, he's pointing at all the Batman stuff. He's like, yeah, Injustice. Injustice 2.
I mean, he has the hoodie and the hat. Wow.
Hey, I was at the event that he got all that swag at. It was an event in the UK. It was like a promotional thing, and we got him involved, and it was good fun. But enough of that. We know that we've seen Bio play a lot of Kano since the patch. He's playing Dirtbag in the Northern Arena online stuff. Honeybee Devora is a monster of a character now.
So is Noob Saibot
Noob
now.
seeing
Got
double
even
is
scarier,
ridiculous.
Even scarier. Yeah, these guys are on the up.
The patch
And
was good to Honeybee,
okay,
for sure.
One thing I want to talk about is post-patch, what are the characters you feel we're going to see a little bit more here on the pro competition?
Who I would like to see, or who we will see?
Who you will see. I think that two of the biggest ones are going to be Noob Saibot and Jax.
Noob Saibot for sure. Jax, I feel like will still take some time. I feel like Jax is... I feel like it's harder.
Speaking of, by the way,
it's harder to kind of just go to Jax and start seeing results. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like Seeing Double is... The way Seeing Double has been buffed, I feel like it's not a terrifically hard character to kind of pick up and get just the basic gist of quite quickly, due to the power and the safety that it now has, as well as obviously the good, handful of neutral buttons it has. But at the higher level, it still has that kind of like layer that you have to really get past by playing the character quite a lot.
Yes. This character, by the way, Jax, is one of the most uniquely designed characters
He's
in
got hot
NetherRealm
arms,
history.
dude, hot hands.
He
can fry an egg.
Okay, this is specifically talking Hunker Down. This is a character that doesn't do combos, that doesn't do a lot of damage until he has a mechanic loaded, and then he becomes one of the scariest characters of all time.
So whenever he
basically, it's such a cool design.
So whenever he
Concept.
punches your lights out and
Yep.
his hands get hot, right? There are 5 levels of heat he can have, and with each level, his punches do more damage. His command grab does more damage. He gets access to fireballs. All this stuff that I'm sure a number of you guys already know by now.
Yes.
But the reason people are starting to talk about it so much more now is because the snowball comeback
exactly what
factor
is being
of
looked at,
Jax
is that
is
he is a snowball
beginning to be
character.
explored.
Yes.
And that is terrifying.
Your health bar doesn't matter when you get hit by a fatal
I mean,
blow.
but
It doesn't.
what crushing blows does he have, right? Fatal blow gives him max heat and gives him a mix-up because he's close enough, right? He gets
Gives
he
him-
gets Oki.
Gives him 3 crushing blows alone on
Yep.
the on
Forward
either
throw
hands.
crushing blow, the extended strings crushing blow, command
forward
grab
2
crushing
plus
blow,
3.
dash punch crushing blow, heat rocket crushing blow, down 2 crushing blow. That's 7.
Command grab? Did you
I
say that?
think I've listed
Okay.
that already. So 7 practical crushing blows.
That all do like 340.
Yes.
Every single one of you just get obliterated. And so that's a scary concept of him being in a second round or a final round or even your first round if he wants to do it. Landing the fatal blow, which takes a lot of your health, and then he has heated arms afterwards and enough hit stun to get some forward movement into a potential mix-up of throw, forward 2, 1+3, command grab, all that stuff that you just mentioned. Your health bar can get Thanos instantly.
But that's why this character is so scary, though, because Jax hits with a fatal blow at any life deficit, and he might win the round
Yes. There are no health leads against Jax.
on it.
wanna say
It fundamentally comes down to...
He also has some of the best mids in this game.
Yeah.
He has one of the tools for success, which is a 9-frame mid.
Mhm.
He's got advancing mids for days.
Safe mids, too.
None of them are punishable. I've been trying to punish Jax.
He
for
has fast, safe mids and a high command
some
grab.
false blockable gaps in this hunker down variation. 4, 2, 1+3 having the gap, but you have to guess because he can safely stagger it into another 9-frame mid. He's just gonna blow you up for days.
Yep.
That's what he's a very scary stagger character that once he's got his mechanics loaded, just turns into a monster.
But I feel like that's again another element that makes probably not going to see a huge amount of people flock to Jax as like new Jax players because of that reason, though.
Oh, yes.
It's very mind game heavy. You can't just pick it up and all of a sudden start
He can also
slapping people around.
There's also an approach to he's also got one of the best low-key one of the best zoning games that's out there. You know, those rockets, they're so fast, a lot of damage. He becomes a really good zoner.
Not to mention that if
he can absorb into it, he can load it at any time.
But that's the thing. The fact that he can load the heat is one of the. I think that's the saving grace for him, because you think, well, if he has to build up heat by hitting you, why don't you just keep him away and keep at arm's length? The second you give him space, he's like one level, and then two, and then three, and ground pound,
and then out of nowhere,
everything else.
He wins trade wars against some of the best owners in the game, right?
Doesn't the first ground pound does 80 damage? I think it's an 8% ground pound.
I believe so.
Which is, if you're trading, I mean, how many other projectiles in the game do close to 8% or 80 damage? Like how regularly do we see that? You know, like. That's not something that a lot of characters have, and the fact that the ground pound is the second he hits the floor, it's instant. The whole screen has hit it. Could be dangerous, but we've talked at length about Jax, which is what we will be seeing from Undead Jim, as he is a day one Jax main. He's going to be coming up against Mr. 5000 with that, I believe, Cetrion.
Mr. 5000, who earned his way here with a victory. The guys down in the African Gaming League.
More of the world is playing this game, and it makes me happy.
And here we go.
Now, this is interesting. Where
this is really big. You know, so many people are behind Mr. 5000. Let's see if he can perform here
the thing
where it
is,
matters most.
I feel like the elephant in the room is the matchup. This is widely regarded to be a
tough one for Jax.
A very hard matchup.
Because this is one of the few characters that can really keep him out, and that's not easy to do. Wow. 5000 off to a quick start here, coming out of the gate at 5,000 miles an hour, it seems.
Now, this is the difference, right? We saw Dragon Cetrion against Liu Kang, where the matchup called for more of a kind of like mid-screen buttons matchup. Mr. 5000 really going in for the keep away here, but now he's got a life he can afford to. Okay.
You see him have that style implemented of those dash cancels, dashing in and out, that this character really lets you do with her movement. Save strings, but like we said, never a health lead against this character. He has a Fatal Blow loaded. I'm scared. Fatal Blow can kill Raw here.
Oh.
These are the staggers. You need to be careful.
Oh, he went for the command. Oh, the whiff on the uppercut. Undead Jim.
The crushing blow on that would have killed. He had heated hands. It was going to do extra damage. I think Raw that would have killed in that situation. Have you guys ever been touched by fully heated Jax and gotten full command grab?
That would have been a monster of a comeback too, as well, though. Like he went for it, but it just didn't quite connect. Unfortunately, Mr. 5000, you could see it coming.
Look at the comeback that we saw on the Jim without utilizing any of those mechanics at all. Just heavy staggers. That layer 1 that we talked about. You haven't even gotten to 2, 6, or 7, 8, or 9.
Oh, well, we have time to get there at this rate. If Undead Jim, he now has the life lead.
There's the rocket. Wow, it's no. I didn't even see the projectile.
Ooh, okay. Mr. 5000 getting that full screen confirmation. Ooh, okay. Oh, counter hit too. Mr. 5000 was pressing.
Very good crouching the unblockable. Didn't get the punish though. He was betting on that. The reaction not quite quick enough for him. You have to stand really quick to punish him because you know that Jax players are mashing down 1-2 after whiffing that unblockable grab.
Speaking of whiffing, we actually did see whiff punish there from Undead Jim. He scouted out the wake-up attack from Mr. 5000. Takes about level 1 heat. But like you said, right, it's about the whiff, it's about the punish, it's about the spacing and awareness, especially in this kind of matchup where Jax is looking for those buttons. Ooh. But that down 1-2 is something you see Jax players go to a lot. But that's the element, right? Down 1 ticks into the grab, so just down 1-2, so it's the mix-up. If you try and get out of the tick grab, you get hit by the down 1-2. If he's cancelled it into something, you'll get caught.
Exactly. Even canceling into the amplified quote-unquote dash punch that Jax has. You're looking for the counter poke, you get hit. And even if you block, if you accidentally block high, it's unblockable. Have a nice day. Beautiful jump. Going underneath that Hell's Rat.
Good throw text coming out from Undead Jim also. Tries to go for the whiff and the grab, unfortunately.
We're getting into a very scary situation because Jax now has Fatal Blow. Look for the up 3, which is very good from Jax. Has a really big horizontal hitbox to it. There it is! Now we're in a very scary situation.
Does Mr. 5000 have resources for wake up? Okay, now this is going to be one read.
You should be frightened either way. This is one read from death. Here comes Jax. And if he would have committed, that would have been it, but he didn't. He went for the stagger into the throw. That is the other side of the mix-up. Oh my goodness, Undead Jim beat himself right there.
That is the most heartbreaking kind of situation where Undead Jim, he made the read, but he didn't follow through with it. He went for the forward 2 by itself. If only he'd finished the string, he would have made the comeback.
I think 5000 made the read that he was going to throw. That's why he just got hit by the raw forward.
No, exactly.
I actually guess in that situation, and I'll either swing or block the forward.
Well, that's the thing, like, Mr. 5000, he had no offensive bar, but he had defensive. So the wake-up option was taken away. But the question is, like, was it be a roll? Would it be a jump? Like, something like that. Unfortunately, Undead Jim, one decision, but he's got to shake it off, get back into this next game. Mr. 5000 playing the matchup really well. Another good throw tech.
That's a very scary spot right there. When you block 4-2, wait, 4-4-2, 1+3, which is that overhead string that you see, he's at that magical minus, what is it, -8 or -7 in that situation where you're like, I can reverse the throw, but he can blow that up with a jump or a crouch. So that's a scary spot to try to throw against Jax. And they're used to it. They know that that's kind of a go-to reversal.
I like the way Mr. 5000, every time Undead Jim has gone for that point-blank amplified punch, he's managed to he's taken his turn. He's poking correctly. And there we go.
There's the zoning coming to play, rolling into another boulder. So here we go!
Okay, this is actually make or break. Undead Jim, he needs to win this round because the Fatal Blow is such an important resource for this character. If he loses this round now, it's rough. But one read will do it again. What's it going to be?
Oh, he got... Oh, no!
Mr. 5000 with the wake up into nothing into delayed Fatal Blow. I wonder if Undead Jim was like, okay, well, if he's going to sit there and whiff something, I'm going to whiff punish with a fireball. But Mr. 5000 called out.
He looked so hesitant for a situation where he had all of the momentum and like everything on his side of the court, right? Mr. 5000 just stared death in the face and didn't blink. That's crazy.
No fear, man. He played it well. Both Fatal Blows at least are off the cards now, so Undead Jim not looking as bad due to that loss, but that's a rough one. As Mr. 5000 getting that clean whip punish. Like counter hit too, no less.
Good interruption of the stagger by Undead Jim here. Gonna generate some pressure with this throw. Doesn't get the best Oki, but has those advancing mids that just bully you. Like we see here, starting to get those hands heated too. Doesn't have... Oh! Very interesting that Divine still came out or active out there, just kind of swinging. So like I said, he's pretty much got his resources loaded without needing the Fatal Blow, but he's eating so much damage on these throwing tools. He's going to jump into another boulder, and Mr. 5000 has done it. A victory over Undead Jim is going to send him into what could be a Cetrion mirror with Dragon in the semifinals of Pool A #1.
I mean, well played all around, Mr. 5000. Yeah. Like, he knew how to play the matchup.
He won the situations that he needed to win against Jax.
Exactly.
Post-Fatal Blow, he won it twice. How many people can say that?
Well, and it was, both the time was within a big decision as well, right? Like the first time, he read the throw, got caught by the forward 2, saw the forward 2 by itself, and immediately went to his next option, right?
Yes.
And then the second time, it was the wake up into nothing, into delay, into Fatal Blow. But it worked!
Yes!
Right? Because Undead Jim saw the whiff into nothing, or saw the wake up into nothing, was like, okay, right, fireball time. And then, obviously, the one hit of the Heat Rocket...
Which was actually really smart because he would have out-damaged a lot of things, and he was pretty close to that double shot getting the kill.
But I definitely thought there was definite signs of impatience from Undead Jim towards the end, though, as well. Because I know, I mean, it's definitely a bad matchup.
Yes.
But at the same time, that doesn't mean
you can really tell full screen just eating those boulders, those Hell's Rats on the way.
I feel like he got hit by every projectile that was thrown in the second game, where every boulder, every Hell's Wrath, like he did unfortunately just straight up eat them, which is something that. I mean, it's very easy to kind of get hit by one or two and get impatient and be like, oh, I need to get in, especially when you're low on health. But you can afford to take your time every now and then, right? Like, because if you read the boulder, he delays it, does the air one, or the Hell's Wrath, you can eventually work your way in. And it wasn't like he was, like, completely starved on health. But regardless, he's going to be dropping down a bit already. Now's a good time to use it. Where's the lie? Where's the lie at, though?
Where is it?
But, of course, Shao Kahn. The reason we talk about VideoGamesYo Shao Kahn, he is a newer player from the UK that this is his first competitive game, but I believe he's been playing fighting games for a while, but he hasn't gone competitive until this game. He's had some decent showings at UK events. He managed to second place at his first ever tournament, which was Critical Combat down in London, losing only to Foxy, and then top 8 at Versus Fighting, losing to Nubcakes and Sonic Ninja.
Super nice kid too. I've had some conversations.
Really cool guy, but online beast. He is a ranked match annihilator with this character.
His opponent gonna be ArcTool here. Ooh, it's that 4-4, real scary stuff, especially that 4-3 range of Shao Kahn. And this is what we want to see, right? Post-patch, Shao Kahn, he got some quality of life improvements on a lot of his strings, and where does he them come into play here?
Yes, and a big thing about the changes is now I believe we'll see it if we see a launch. Big thing is this variation of Shao Kahn, the Dark Priest, had some recovery taken off of him, so it's more practical to get it out. To the point that you can now launch your opponent with Shao Kahn and get a guaranteed Dark Priest as your ender, which is huge for this variation.
Which is what he was trying to get right there on the early breakaway. It was that particular ender, get the Dark Priest up, and then Annihilation becomes so scary.
Of course, ArcTool, the Liu Kang. We'll be seeing a lot of this character today. I think definitely is one of the stronger characters in the game so far, but I believe ArcTool's been playing him long before the patch. So we should see some familiarity.
Oh!
Big read on the parry. Oh no, but he drops the combo.
Not something you want to do with a health deficit against Shao Kahn here. That's a cool skin too. Look at that hammer.
Shao Kahn has some of the better gear, I think.
Oh yeah, that's actually the skin that I use with that bone helmet.
But there's the outfit that he's got with all the kind of like samurai gear, the kind of big armor. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Another parry coming through from ArcTool. But a breakaway this time from VideoGamesYo. Takes his advantage into a throw. Towards the corner we go. Plus frames. Ooh, the challenge on the button. Big jump in. Tries to hit confirm. Not quite enough. Now this has been a whole game of just whiff punishes from video games. Just one hit at a time, throws here and there.
Well, I think you were talking about him yesterday in that if he's out of range where a Shao Kahn button is in range, he's going to press it. Oh, there it is.
We tried to anti the standing one also. Oh, the
and
counter
that works
poke!
every time.
Oh.
Does have a break with his ArcTool.
He has to. But that's actually not bad for VideoGamesYo, because that crushing blow by itself doesn't matter. Not bad damage,
and
but no breakaway.
That is going to do it.
Oh. Upwards Wrath Hammer is going to be slamming down that first game. VideoGamesYo.
That was just clean.
He's looking good.
I didn't see really any overcommitment. He kept it very safe in his pressure, very staggery, very jump heavy because Shao Kahn's jump kick is annoying.
Low-key, one of the better jump kicks in the game. Not just because of the fact that it's very Baraka-esque, where it just has that amazing hitbox priority, but you hit that jump kick anywhere, shoulder charge will confirm it into a launch. And it's not a hard confirm either, right? That's actually, I feel like, an unsung benefit that a character can have is being able to hit confirm any jump kick from any range into something substantial. And Shao Kahn is one of the best in the game at that.
One thing I don't see him do either is a lot of forward four, which is kind of a big Shao Kahn staple. He likes to keep it just like that. He likes to look for whip punishes, which is something I don't really see a lot of.
And there's the Dark Priest.
Oh man!
That was an anti-air.
Wait a minute!
Oh!
I don't see a breakaway yet.
Oh, Big Daddy Shao Kahn damage!
477! This is Shao Kahn, baby!
This is why he's the Emperor and we are but mere mortals. Look at him, man. He's talking all that mess.
This is Shao Kahn, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you see that crushing blow combo, Luke?
Oh, here we go. That combo's in the corner. Damage. Daddy Shao Kahn putting out that damage, baby.
The thing is, sometimes you'll see like his combo damage not even be that much higher than other characters in situations, but because the Annihilation just has that weight behind it as a move. Okay, and I don't mean to sound like I'm discrediting by saying VideoGamesYo is the Shao Kahn to watch, stuff like that, because there are decent Shao Kahn players around. But like Jackal, of course, who plays a good amount of Shao Kahn. I believe there are others I've seen around. I'm not too familiar myself.
We saw Automatic at Twitch Rivals. We've seen Rico Suave in
Rico, of course.
In the E-League showdowns.
But the reason we really big up video games is because he just seems to always do really well against like top level players.
Which is not easy to do.
Like online, sure. Like I know a lot of you kind of like offline purists out there will be like, well, it's in rank match, it doesn't really count. But you watch him play against them and you see his level of composure, his matchup knowledge, the way he plays around tendencies that those players have. He is, in my opinion, one of the biggest up-and-coming players to watch because he doesn't have a huge amount of competitive experience, but he already has amazing results with Shao Kahn, who was considered to be a bottom-tier character in the last patch. Whether he is anymore or not, you know, I guess is up in the air. But if there's one Shao Kahn player that I believe can have that breakout major pro competition tournament to show this character in his absolute purest form and show himself off as a good player in the meantime, it is absolutely VideoGamesYo. But we move up to, I believe this is Ladno.
Yes, this is Ladno versus Nubcakes. All right, so there were some issues, it looks like, and the last match was VideoGamesYo taking it 2-0 comfortably.
Oh, please don't tell me the people missed that. I'm going to be so salty if the people miss that. Oh, I hope it at least goes on YouTube. Oh, no! No! They didn't?
Okay,
They didn't?
okay.
Okay, good. Okay,
All right,
okay.
Just know from start to end, VideoGamesYo was in absolute full control with Shao Kahn, and we saw the Dark Priest setups. And what was beautiful is that he knew to look for an anti-air right afterwards, because a lot of people are like, oh, he's negative. Time for me to get a jump in pressure. His stand one. Guys, Shao Kahn's stand one as an anti-air is phenomenal.
I think because he's really tall, so
Yeah.
it hits really high up. But it's really good. So for those
That's
of you that missed,
that's
that may have
exactly how I
missed,
feel with Kotal being a big guy to stand one.
but it was good. The short of it is, it was a really good set, and
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing
really
more
good
from them.
display.
But we move on to Ladno versus Nubcakes. Ladno, one of the Irish, one of the real As One Productions team, right? You know, you see him with the Celtic Throwdown jersey on. He's of course helping out with the organization as well. But he's not a bad player by any means. You know, he's been playing Sub-Zero, I think, pretty much exclusively Dead of Winter from launch. Just one of those players that is just really tidy, you know? I definitely wouldn't say that we've seen him have the best Dead of Winter we've ever seen, as this is a highly contested character for that accolade, but he's definitely incredibly solid, right? And this is the kind of tournament, it's in his hometown, it's a tournament he's a part of the organization of, and he's against someone like Nubcakes, who was, of course, you know, quite a highbrow name from the North American region as of late, with his tournament showings and his success across Injustice 2, of course. But these are two players that could really have. They could use a good showing here to kind of really cement themselves. You know, Nubcakes is looking, not to say that he has bad results in this game, but he's looking for that real big stellar. This was my tournament for MK11, right? And Ladno, you know, again, he's got the hometown boys behind him.
And this is a semifinal match. This, Ladno, previous round, had a 2-1 victory over Original Razor. The winner of this will face the winner of a Foxy Grandpa and Ikesy. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that must mean that Ikesy beat Use for Glue.
2-1 over Use for Glue.
Wow. That's actually really impressive. I'm looking forward to seeing Ikesy play. Nubcakes, again, starting things off with that jump.
And by the way, that win from VideoGamesYo sets him up to face WhiteBlack in semifinals.
Ooh, okay.
And that is just one half of the bracket, the other side being Mr. 5000 and Dragon. These pools stacked, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's going to be the general consensus for the entire day. There is no easy path of this tournament. Every pool is full of people.
Beautiful whiff punish by Ladno here.
Are we going to see the crushing blow? No, he's going to save it. Oh, big wake up.
Back to the corner we go. Look for the jump and read instead. Just getting in safely with the dash punch. Once blocked, is safe on block.
Oh, he was looking for it as well, but Ladno just not quite close enough to get the whiff punish for that back one. That's unfortunate.
Here we go. You're going to use the hits under the down one. Nubcakes, one of those guys really good at confirming his hit advantages, utilizing them well. Jackie also one of the best characters in doing that with that forward four. Pressure regenerated in the corner. Here we go. Not pressing the button this time was Ladno. He learned his mistake last time around. Gonna get the counter poke out.
Oh, he's dead.
And here we go. Stand 4 into the fatal blow, and this is gonna do it.
And that's the Sub-Zero comeback factor, dude. If you're on about 40%, 45% or lower, one mix-up, and that's going to be the round. Ladno brings it back. Spends a very important resource to do it, but he's alive.
That's my favorite mid-round,
the backwards coffin drop thing.
Game. Yeah,
that's
MK versus DC, right?
It
He
is,
had that
it
teleport where he just coffins back. So cool that they put that little Easter egg in here.
Oh, that was a nice confirm on the jump kick by Nubcakes, and he has the crushing blow loaded. That does so much damage. This is why it's still worth building it up. 400 damage into a restand. Dangerous stuff. Okay, we can see an advantage from this throw.
Jackie means post-patch damage nerf, by the way.
But that's it, right? She still has access to that big damage. It just takes her a little bit longer to build it up.
318 right there. She's still doing just fine. And look at it, frozen mid-air Superman punch style, but the breakaway clutch enough there from Nubcakes to get the whiff punish. Perfectly timed.
That was a counter hit too, Ladno. He actually, if it blocked, he would have been safe, but he whiffed a late shoulder. He whiffed a late cold shoulder after the breakaway, but continued to press, unfortunately. It's a read. When you are that low on health, it's kind of like, well, if I block and he throws me, obviously I'm going to die. If I move and he goes for like a throw or something, maybe it's going to whiff. It's a rough situation to be in.
Yeah, that was really dominant from Nubcakes, really all 3 rounds. You think about the comeback needed in round number 1, coming off all your resources, the fatal blow. and then Nubcakes is running away with it.
Okay, maybe that could be
Really
there.
good to see that Nubcakes wasn't rattled by that.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
Just maintain control because he knew he was in control game number 1 still.
Well, Nubcakes is also no stranger to major practice, right? Like competitions, being in these kind of big scale events.
I think he's having a little bit of fun out here. 3 in a row. It's just jump cancels.
I wonder what that is. So I've actually never seen a Jackie player do that. I actually wonder what that is on
Same
block.
here.
I wonder if that's a legit thing or if it's just a way of like resetting to
It's
bait
like
out buttons.
shaving some frames
Maybe.
off, and baiting someone and pressing a button, and then you just get forward in the mount.
Perhaps. I'd love to know. See if I can talk to Nubcakes about it later on. Oh, big hit on the last hit of that string. 135 damage into chip damage, and there we go, the counter poke. Nubcakes, dominant fashion, plowing through this pool.
And for right now, Ladno is just in a constant mix-up of when is it my turn to press a button. And, oh, that's so unfortunate, getting the drop, the back one going
That's 2
underneath
opportunities
Jackie there.
back-to-back that Ladno isn't taking, unfortunately. That's a 3rd jump kick. That one's a bit harder to confirm, for sure. Nubcakes going to get a launch here. Tries to go for the combo, Ladno. And again, that reversal, almost like poke-esque low gunshot, is really catching Ladno off guard.
Yeah, I mean, even after down 1, we've seen a lot from Nubcakes, just doing it at down 1, looking for the hit stun, the jerk pressure the forward 4, and then Ladno making the counter adjustment to actually counter poke, gets blown up by the shot. Very good stuff by Nubcakes, playing that mind game.
Oh, that late anti-air, clean. And the overhead gets the combo. Nubcakes has a breakaway. He is going to use it, but then this time, oh, the down 1!
Another beautiful
Does he have the launch? If he gets it,
oh,
that's death.
No
That's
breakaway. That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
Into the fatal blow, and another 2-0 victory for Nubcakes. Moving along in Pool A number 2 to winners finals.
But that is exactly right there an example of why just because something's been nerfed doesn't mean it's not worth using anymore, right? Both of those games came down to Nubcakes building up that crushing blow. You know, again, you have to remember the clinch crushing blow.
Yep.
To get the launching version of the elbow, you have to do the suplex, you have to do the knees, and you have to do the double knee ender, right? Now, the reason that wasn't a problem beforehand is because you would end everything in the double knees anyway, because it did max damage, and you would have enough advantage when you knocked them over to get close range and still be there for a mix-up.
That's right.
A nerf in the patch was the double knee ender now has considerably less advantage. So if you send him away with it, you send them to pretty much full screen, and you are back at neutral pretty much, which means that you're at a range that she doesn't really have any options. So a lot of Jackie players will see that and originally go, oh, it's crap now, I'm not going to use it. But then, at the same time, if you still use it, and you have the launcher locked and loaded, all of a sudden you've got 400 damage confirmed. And if they have no breakaway, GG, it's over. And that's exactly what we saw from Nubcakes. Now, who do we have stepping up to the plate next?
That's what I'm really curious.
Ooh, we have just been told. Go ahead, take it away.
This is the other half of A2, so we just saw Nubcakes advance to the winners finals of the pool. Other side's going to be a Foxy Grandpa versus Axie. This is going to be a big one.
Now, this is an interesting one for me because I haven't seen Axie play this game he was at Vianality, and unfortunately, he didn't do very well. It was just, I don't know if it was probably just an off day, right?
Yeah.
It does happen to players where sometimes it's just not your day. And unfortunately for Axie, Celtic Throwdown was one of those rougher showings for him. Axie, of course, known for being a fundamentally very sound fighting game player from the UK. Very successful in Dragon Ball. We saw him in Justice 2. He was really good.
Yes.
You know, he was able to take out some very strong players back in that game as well with that Supergirl. But MK11, he was looking really good early on, but I believe he kind of fell out of favor with the game gradually over time. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm really feeling it, I'm not really sure if it's for me. But looking to play here today and doing really well for himself, taking out Use for Glue. We haven't seen Use for Glue play on stream today, but you know, make no mistake, if you trust my word, believe me when I say that Use for Glue is no slouch in this game. So the fact that he managed to take him out is a match that I hope someone recorded, because I really want to watch it and see. But he is going to be coming up against Foxy Grandpa, who has historically had the edge over Axie. The first time they ever played in tournament was back in the first couple of months of MKX, where Axie actually... it was a weird one. So they played 2 tournaments back-to-back because it was like a London qualifier for something and then a UK qualifier immediately after. And the London was a qualifier for the UK thing, right? Foxy won the London qualifier, even though he'd already qualified for the thing they were playing for. He beat Axie in the grand finals, but because Foxy had already qualified, Axie got the UK final spot due to the 2nd place because it dropped down. Then in the UK final, Axie beat Foxy, and it was his first ever tournament loss in MKX was to Axie. Unfortunately, that was pretty much the one and only time Axie has beaten Foxy in another own game. But that being said, He is a really strong player. I believe he still plays
That is
Cassie or
still
Sonya.
more than most of us can say have beaten Foxy.
I mean,
if I'm being honest with you guys.
yeah, I mean that's just the way it goes. And one thing that instantly has me curious is Foxy has gone for Shang Tsung in the matchup, which is something I haven't seen him play this matchup before. I'm really interested to see how this goes because Ixie has been a Sonya player from launch day. Sonya, one of those characters that was hit with a nerf, but is clearly still really good, so don't worry about it.
That's what was great about this patch, if we can openly talk about it, is that no character was overly touched, right?
I don't believe so. Yeah, I agree with that. It feels like quite a sensible patch.
Both the bottom and the top weren't overly drastically changed.
As two commentators that played lower end
Yeah,
of, the
exactly.
of the tier characters.
Guys, if we're not complaining, right, that should say something.
Still though, Foxy with a really good start now. And this is going to be the matchup. You know, Sonya is... They took away some of her offensive capabilities due to the launcher, but her zoning, completely untouched. And her zoning is probably the strongest thing about her, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it really sets up everything else.
Here's Shang. You see who else knows a thing or two about
Yeah.
full-screen games? It is the Shang man himself, Shang Tsung.
It's so cool to see Foxy play multiple different playstyles, right?
It's very unlike him.
Yeah.
Typically, we kind of see him in
Well,
another game
we
pick
first saw
something
that
and then...
really in Injustice 2.
I would say MKX because he went to Melina later on.
Oh,
Which was
you
the
are
first
right.
time we actually, but then even then, he kind of went to Melina and just Melina.
Yeah.
Whereas now we are actively seeing him swap between characters, which is just goes to show, you know, Foxy's been playing competitively for like 8, going on his 9th year maybe, and he is now still putting new playstyles into his repertoire. You know, it is, those of you watching at home that are on the fence of, you know, I've got the way I like to
This
play.
is a literal old dog learning new tricks.
Yeah, man, this is 100% that, and Ixie, wow,
Oh!
that was dominant into the brutal finish as well.
And you'll notice every character that he pockets also has a throw brutality.
I knew that would happen as well. The second Shang Tsung said, "Your soul is mine," Foxy looked us dead in the eyes on camera. Your soul is mine. I was like, yes,
Yes.
it is. Still, only one game down. Ixie, one of the things that sets Ixie apart from a number of players in fighting games generally is his ability to adapt. I must say, it looks like he's just generally unfamiliar with Shang Tsung. Because he's doing a lot of kind of jumping into ground eruption. We're not quite seeing the...
Really well spaced ground eruptions.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
by
yeah, oh,
Foxy.
for sure. They're being done for anti-air. It's like Ixie's just jumping into them.
Moves just outside the range of that body drop. And these are not great trades for anyone.
No,
I think in the game.
It's a weird one. So like the ring blast on hit will definitely give you another ring blast. The corpse drop knocks down. So on a trade, the corpse drop's going to win. Obviously the ground eruption took a big damage nerf, but still not enough to make the character bad. It's almost like it was a smart nerf.
Almost. Who would have thought?
Foxy Grandpa though, match point already over Ixie. This is a dominant performance.
And this has been pure zoning. That entire
100%.
round was zoning.
Have we actually
They
seen
weren't
Shang do
close
a
to each
normal
other.
button yet?
I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't think so. I genuinely don't think we've seen him do an actual button.
There we go. There we go. Closing the gap.
There is one.
And then back to full screen we go. Zoning up, but
No,
no,
he's
he's
going
getting
close
aggressive here.
Ooh, the
Is
hesitation.
Is he closing the gap to set up the throw? This early.
But that's the thing, right? Like, you see Foxy go for this, like, relentless keep away, right? Strong keep away style.
The moment that he's in the kill territory, watch him just go in.
But that's it. Like, Shang Tsung has that amazing down 3, those low pokes that jail the standing high. So it's like, it's the same Kung Lao idea. It's get a poke, and it's grab or button.
Now here he goes. He's going to go in.
He tried. He walked up.
No back movement at all right now by Foxy. And there it is.
Oh, that's not going to kill. Wait, actually, it did. It did. It did just enough.
Oh, I thought it was right on the threshold because Shang Tsung's forward throw weaker than his back throw because it gives him a little bit of
But
health
only by
back.
2% as well. Only by 20 damage. I'm actually surprised that killed. That must have been, like, just on, like, the cusp of doing enough. But Foxy Grandpa is going to be coming up against Nubcakes then in winners finals of this pool.
That's going to be really good.
That's going to be a really good showing. Foxy has, again, looking on top form, as we expected. You know, Foxy is, to remind those of you watching at home, the only player in the world that can boast that he has been to not only every single pro competition event, but has failed to place worse than... Fifth place. Top 8
fifth.
guaranteed showing at every pro competition event he's been at so far. And is the only person in the world that can say that. And this is kind of why. You know, he has this... I feel like he's just clicked with this game, you know, because Foxy has always been another own guy, but there's no real getting around the fact that even though he was successful in Injustice, Mortal Kombat is his jam.
Oh, 100%.
You know, he's a Mortal Kombat guy through and through. So to see him have this, like, dominant performance, you know, as a biased Foxy fan, I try to be unbiased, but you guys know as well as I do, it doesn't work. Like, come on now. we've all heard it enough. I cannot not be biased when Foxy.
I mean,
plays.
let's just call it what it is. Not only is he, I would say the second most, what's the word I'm looking for, consistent player, I think, in the pro competition. He has been one of the most consistent Mortal Kombat, if you look at only Mortal Kombat players of all time.
I would say there's a reason he is considered to be, whenever anyone's talking about, like,
Yes.
who are the greatest,
Most
successful players
those
ever?
top 5, right, that everyone likes to just say, who are the top 5 best Mortal Kombat players
In the
of all time?
community across all the games. There's a reason Foxy's name comes up 9 out of 10 times. But enough about Foxy. We'll no doubt talk about him much more in the future as we go into a Cetrion mirror match as we have Mr. 5000 against Dragon. Now, I'm going to look at the pool and see exactly how these games have gone on the way through.
Look how happy Mr. 5000 is, really relaxed, and then look at the stone, like the face of a killer on Dragon right now, which is something I rarely say, which is how goofy this kid actually is. But when he's in tournament mode, he's like a different person.
It's crazy how much of a kind of personality difference there is with him, you know? And it just goes to show his real professionalism. You know, he's been a player for years at like success, right? You know, the general term professional player is thrown around arguably a little bit too often, really, in the esports world. But Dragon is one of the people that can truly say, yes, professional player. Yes. It is his job to be sick at these games.
And he puts in those job
and that's
hours,
why. Because that's how he sees it. He treats it with the respect of a job. He treats it with the respect of a career. He puts in his daily time. He puts in his hours. He isn't just sitting there playing all day. He is looking. He's studying. He's playing.
He's got notebooks. He's got footages pulled up. He has every single one of you on a file on his computer with match footage and like notes.
We have to apprehend that computer and get all the files, Zoolander style.
We need that tech.
We have to physically take it.
We have to grab it and then realize how we get the files out, right?
Now
and then bash it.
Now this is I believe for
semifinals.
Yeah, this is for winners final of the pool, and on the other side, like you said, we have WhiteBlack and VideoGamesYo.
That's gonna be phenomenal.
I really hope we get
I'm excited
that
for both of these matches.
I believe we'll get it streamed though, because it looks like that they've got the stream queue mark on it, so that should be something we'll be seeing.
I think we're getting the rest of the winners side matches out because we're also going to get the winners finals of A2, which is Foxy versus Nubcakes, and then I believe the rest of this pool winners side out.
Now let's have a look at the losers side and see how things are going. So Juicy Joe defeated ArcTool. Undead Jim and Majin Weeaboo are playing.
Ooh.
We're seeing any other names here. Nothing yet so far. Let's go back to the other pool that we've seen and see how...
AXE is facing Original Razor and Ladno versus Used for Glue.
Ladno and Used for Glue have played many times. I actually wonder how that could go.
Used for Glue moving on a 2-0 victory over DanteDemonZ, and Original Razor with a 2-0 over Mushisha.
So it looks like we actually might be in a situation that maybe we'll see the run back between AXE and Used for Glue, or maybe we won't. Maybe Ladno will be able to take it.
And that was really close on the winner's side, 2-1.
Yeah, no, for sure. And these are just 2 pools. 2 pools! And we've already seen VideoGamesYo, Dragon, Mr. 5000, Undead Jim, Used for Glue, Foxy Grandpa. I think I may have said Used for Glue twice.
All right, so let's bring up a bit of MK11 history here, going back to the initiation of the pro competition, and really MK11 competitively at Combo Breaker, in that Dragon ran into what was at the time the most premier Cetrion mirror that could have ever happened, having to face Big D in the first match of that, oh my goodness, of that top 8, and won it convincingly. This is a guy that knows the Cetrion mirror. That's what he's running into here, and that's what I've seen so far, just in the sentence that I've been talking.
And there's almost a full life bar gone already, but Mr. 5000 managing to fight back. There's some plus frames here. And again, Dragon with that counter poke.
Went for a cheeky little reset right there in the hit stun, and these teleport reads, he's already 2 for 2.
That was a punish too as well. That's exactly why we're seeing Dragon do it. If you teleport right as Cetrion fires a boulder, you will get a free hit. And that's exactly what we're seeing Dragon go for it. When he's got the life lead and doesn't have to worry about dying for it. Oh, and we're punished, but the safety.
Here's Dragon on the offensive here, and just setting up those whip punishes. It's so scary to counter poke these characters sometimes. Because of that backdash, you're going to whiff, and that 4-2 is coming in for the punish. They confirm into a geyser. Have a nice day. GG's. Oh, here's 5000. Going to get some damage and force that breakaway. And just waking up with the buttons. Dragon, no fear.
We've actually seen Dragon do wake up buttons a lot, but he always does it from a range where you don't expect his standing one to reach you, and that's exactly why he does it.
I'm going to quote Dragon from last night. He said, "Have you seen me play? I'm the most disrespectful player on Wake Up." And he says he does Wake Up jump kick like...
But every time he does wake up jump kick, it works. That's
exactly.
the scary thing. And a clean punish on that teleport. Dragon showing
I said that because I was playing
dominance
with him, and he woke up jumping against me, and it worked, and I was like,
he was slightly intoxicated at the time, to be fair.
To be fair. But he blew me up. He said, "You casted me at CEO. I did it like 5 times against Sonic and it worked." And I was like,
Why is this a surprise? You've seen me do it.
I'm like, I can't say anything at this point.
Oh, okay. Mr. 5000, is he bringing out the pocket Liu Kang? Actually, I don't know about any character
how
he
many
plays.
Cetron players here have a backup Liu Kang? I've already I know 3 off the top of my head already.
I mean,
this is pretty crazy.
I mean, if you're gonna play top 2, you may as well play them both.
You might as well play all of the ones that are considered the best.
Actually, speaking of which, like that's actually something that I quite like about the game right now. Is we're definitely seeing. Oh, is this a counter pick attempt?
This would be an old school pick right here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, so this is another character highly debated post-patch. This is a character that everyone said is dead, and then we saw online NA West.
I mean, I don't see how Scorpion is like bottom tier because of the teleport.
Yes.
So like, again, just for transparency, those of you watching, the biggest change Scorpion received was his teleport is no longer a mid, it's a high. So the normal teleport you can crouch. The amplified version still a mid, Reborn still cancels it, but the normal version is a high now. I feel like it's still good in every sense except for just being used in the neutral.
Yeah.
It still whiff punishes, it still confirms, it still is a threat, especially if you're Reborn, it can cancel it.
And, but
everywhere but just throwing it out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Every other situation, you're doing the jump back, looking for something to whiff punish with it still. You don't have to cancel, keep it safe here in Reborn. And he's still got every other tool that he's known for. He still has wonderful stagger game, really good buttons.
Decent damage, good wake-ups. Still though, Dragon not showing any fear whatsoever. You're seeing the delays, right? Sometimes he's finishing the string into the boulder, sometimes he's not. This is that Dragon style. No flawless block.
Ooh, still has fear, still has 2-1.
Wow, that was a full screen punish.
4-3-4, and yeah, that's just something you're not going to throw against Cetron, having that full screen threat. And this is now match point for Dragon to make it into what I believe is top 24 outside of pools here at Celtic Throwdown.
This is winners finals.
Yes. Oh, this is 4 winners finals.
This
You're right. This is early.
Yeah,
This is what's crazy. It's like all these matches are happening early.
This is for winners finals against the winner of VideoGamesYo and WhiteBlack.
So this has just begun. For Dragon to get these matches early, it's also really good for him to.
Dragon is playing
to stay hot if he gets these wins, right?
Dragon is playing in this pool this morning, like someone that is second in the world. Like, there's a reason he is so. Like, Dragon is also one of the most consistent players going.
Yes.
Like, I feel like he would be another one of the players that could boast a 100% top 8 ratio had he been to every event.
Yeah,
he just wasn't at Viennale.
Yeah, dude, the only offline pro competition that he's missed as he is going to get the.
No worries.
Tekken Master almost in that group.
Almost.
Top 16 at CEO, and that was a top 16 that he was 1 hit from top 8 winners against Sonic.
Dude, that was scary too. I actually still want to see Sonic and Tekken Master in like a grand finals territory. Actually, like, no disrespect to Dragon, like he played out of his mind, but that losers finals at EVO, one of if not the best set of MK11 I think we've seen so far.
Some of those matches in that top 8 were, I mean, all those game 5s, the comebacks, it was sensational.
But I feel like, if we got to see Tekken Master against Sonic Fox in that grand finals, I feel like genuinely it could have gone either way. But regardless, that is once more a story for another day, as we have a match that I know the two of us have been very excited about looking. And I know a lot of you at home will be in the exact same situation. We have VideoGamesYo and that Shao Kahn, presumably, against WhiteBlack from France.
WhiteBlack's been around for quite some time.
And WhiteBlack has also been playing Liu Kang. I mean, his character has been Liu Kang, Sonya, and Geras. Not a terrible trio of characters.
Decent.
Not bad. Not bad.
I would say that covers like an okay range of competitive Mortal Kombat, right? That gives you a good fighting chance at winning, right?
But VideoGamesYo again, and now I feel like we've talked for days about VideoGamesYo Shao Kahn, of course, but he does actually play other characters. I don't know about post-patch, but I know before he would play Jax. He'd play a lot of Grin and Barrett Jax as well, which is something we wouldn't typically see too many times. But I've been seeing him play Cassie. I've been seeing him play Nightwolf, of course. I think everyone's kind of been dabbling in a little bit of Nightwolf. But I feel like Shao Kahn really is the mainstay, arguably you could say the mainstay powerhouse of VideoGamesYo's character arsenal. I mean, the question is, who is WhiteBlack going to play?
That's right. Okay, hovering over Liu Kang, hovering over Shao Kahn. And this is the match that VideoGamesYo played out of the gate, was against a Liu Kang. So this is the only matchup that he's gotten to play. He's nice and warmed up in it.
He's thinking to himself, yes, as expected.
Look for, and someone let me know on Twitter that they only missed about the last 40% of the final health bar that first match. So they got to see a lot of what VideoGamesYo was doing.
Okay,
I think he just annihilated him with 2 combos in that final round anyway. But what he did a lot in that match was a lot of when he was in Liu Kang's face, the walk back with punishes were sensational. Trying to get Liu Kang to whiff the forward 4, maybe trying to get them to to whiff a 1-2. Let's see if he plays around that same space here with WhiteBlack. And there is that confirmation off the jump kit that you were talking about earlier. He gets a lot of damage.
That was empty forward jump into neutral. And here we go. This is going to be big boy damage. Big knockdown. Short hop. Oh, the baits into the plus frames. The delays. Oh, that would have been disgusting.
If he mistimed that button, I think he was dead.
Possibly. Ooh, misses the throw, but doesn't get punished in time. Ooh, tries to poke.
I think he tried to build up with a 1-4. He wanted to end it right there.
This is a good life lead for video games to have, honestly.
Spear, very interesting projectile. Is a mid at full screen. Close, not so much.
Yes, he's really fishing for these spears.
And what's great about that spear, and that's what's cool about the development of the Shao Kahn game plan, is that spear has so much hit advantage that he gets to close the gap.
Yep.
Gets to close the gap.
If he trades, he gets a guaranteed Dark Priest, which is even easier to do now. It builds towards a really useful crushing blow. And the video games, you saw him at the end there, he went for the upwards Wrath Hammer. Only when WhiteBlack had enough health that the hammer would kill. Normally the idea is they do Wrath Hammer, you uppercut, and you take a positive trade. But you can't do that at that low.
This pressure stand one and then down four. This is just annoying. This has got to be annoying to deal with.
No, dude, but this is what video games has always done. Standing one, down four. The second you respect the down four, he gets throws, he gets different buttons. The standing one forces you to block the low.
This is absolute bullying right now. From video games out of the fatal blow, and just nothing working for WhiteBlack. That was convincing. That was
an absolute.
He locked him in that corner to death.
But it was all coming off the standing one. But it was in situations that standing one, there was very little you could do about it.
Yep.
Because it was standing one after a down four on hit, or if it was after plus frames. Some
exactly.
way that the standing one is very hard to deal with. Now I'm looking for something here. Is he going to do it? He didn't. That's the first time he hasn't started with sweep. WhiteBlack looking absolutely lost in this matchup, though, I must say.
Rare time going for a forward four as well. There's a lot of startup on that forward four, but because it's so plus on block, plus 6, those plus big move the game out to do.
Oh, flawless block into the punish.
There comes the breakaway.
This is scary. No breakaway for WhiteBlack means that it's going to be big damage.
This is where he bullied him the buttons, the walk-up forward four. And, you know, if WhiteBlack had just done forward four in the corner right there, he would have gotten whiff punish. But because he walked forward into it, actually caught video games off guard.
That was interesting. Slight drop there.
Oh, plus frame. And again, because he's walking up, video games isn't ready for that. He's looking for him not to move and to stay stationary with the whiffs.
That counter poke annihilation, though, it's so fast. Cheeky. So hard to deal with.
I get hit by it all the time.
Oh, the walk-up sweep!
Down annihilation might be unblockable. Going up for the fatal blow, and not enough there.
Do you see that? If that doesn't speak for the range of Shao Kahn's standing, like, just jab, I don't know what will. He just slightly walked up and standing one punished the fatal blow. Just a quick, take that.
Oh!
Okay, that was bold. That was bold.
I mean, when you're up a game, up a health bar, convincing, why not? Have a little fun.
Oh, okay, escape failed. WhiteBlack looking like he's going to delete this health bar quite quickly at this rate.
Oh, there's someone in front of him, but video games, that's the first time I've seen him not get the
there it is, crushing blow. Yes, front throw now gone, which makes the back one all the scarier.
Wow! Oh my goodness.
No fear! That was such a Shao Kahn thing to do. Oh, he's actually very close to death. Be fatal blows. Oh my god, he gets hit by fatal blow. He's dead.
Man.
He's dead! He's dead!
Right into the fatal blow, and then it's game over. VideoGamesYo with 2 raw shoulders to make the comeback. The cojones, the balls on.
Here it comes, here it comes. Oh!
Stop.
The Emperor.
Hammer time.
Oh, very good. You know what? That gives you a high five. That's a high five right there. Well done. Well done. What a showing. And that is crazy. And that one of the things that I feel like low-key is kind of scary about Shao Kahn, because shoulder charge, I will speak properly, is really unsafe. It's like -25. But
I actually struggle punishing it because of the pushback.
Oh, you don't expect it as well.
Yeah.
The last thing it's like, because the thing is, it's a mid, it's fast. Yes, it's death on block, but it launches on hit. Yeah. So if you're gonna make the reading, just go screw it.
I know for some reason
45% unbreakable because the fatal blow's gonna hit.
I think for some reason a lot of us think that he can amplify it on block, and so we're like waiting for that second animation.
Waiting for the overhead.
It's never gonna come, by the way.
Indeed. But VideoGamesYo looking.
How much is Dragon sweating in the crowd right now?
I hope Dragon has lab Shao Kahn.
I think Dragon is sweating right now. He's probably because again I was playing with him last night. Even as Kotal, and he's like, I have no idea what Kotal's doing. And that lets me know that.
And I would say Shao Kahn is more
yes.
niche than Kotal. I'd say there are more Kotal players than Shao Kahn players.
And I would say that Dragon, I think coming into this might be one to look out for.
I'm looking at Dragon in the crowd, and he's shrugging his shoulders. I wonder if he's going like, Shao Kahn? Who knows? Who knows what to do?
He's on his phone. He's asking for Shao Kahn games right now. See if he can get them in.
Oh, he's on that PlayStation remote play on his phone.
Yeah.
He's like, quick! I left it on. I wonder if it would reach from like Delaware to Ireland. Do you reckon remote play would still work?
Sitting next to one of the only other Americans here in Rewind, who is probably saying everything that he can about Shao Kahn right now. I guarantee that's what's going down right now. But honestly, Rewind being here, Rewind is an interesting story in MK11. Judging by the strength, or you look at the strength that he had in Injustice 2.
A little bit more inconsistent
being
than we
an Evo
expected.
champ, very inconsistent when the game started, right? Had what are considered to him poor results at the first few majors.
But only by his standards.
Only
right?
by
only
his
poor
standards.
results by his high standards.
That's right. There was only like 800 people at those tournaments and 1,000 people at those tournaments. No big deal, right?
How dare you not get top 16 in this?
How dare him?
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of player event.
He got 25th at Combo Breaker, which I thought was good, but for him was like terrible because he just won Evo.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when you're number one, the only way you can go is down.
Had
That's
a
the
poor
phrase.
showing at CEO to his standard. Falling really early to Chris G.
It feels wrong saying it.
Yeah,
like,
it really does.
Rewind had a bad tournament.
Yep.
And even then, it wasn't bad.
And
it's
then
just by, again,
Evo, he really turned things around. In 9th,
yep.
Really strong showing, and then won NA Online West. And now, from out of nowhere, those two results jump him into top 12 in the pro competition.
Yes.
And that's why he's traveled here, because he's on the hunt. He got his foot in the door, and now he wants to cement himself.
Well, the pressure will be on him to do so later today. But for now, we're moving on to winners finals of, is this A2 or A1? I believe it's A1.
This is A2.
Oh, it's A2. That's A2. It's A2.
Dragon's A1. This, I feel like I saw this a lot back in Injustice 2.
I think we did as well, yes.
All across the IPS. And is this what we're getting? It's a button check.
Now, okay, just while we wait for this check to be going on, we saw Foxy. His path has been he defeated DanteDemonZ and Ikesy, and Nubcakes. Because these were the two top seeds of the pool as well, so they both got a bye first the first game. Nubcakes defeated Sathari and then Ladno. In losers side, the losers semis will be a run back between Ikesy and Use for Glue, and that's actually set for the stream as well.
Sure
so we will
is.
be seeing
and
that.
We missed it on the winner's side, and it looked like it went the distance too. 2-1, looked like it was very close. And we're not going to get that iconic matchup that we saw early on, because it kind of freaked me out because Nubcakes was a Sub-Zero player back in MKX. And I was like, he might have a Sub-Zero here.
Actually, no, was he? He went to Shinnok quite quickly.
He did, late. But I played him day one, and it was Sub-Zero.
I have no claims to this, but I beat Nubcakes at West Coast local with Shinnok. And the next time I saw him, he was playing Shinnok, so I'm like, I've inspired you. But it is going to be Shang Tsung versus Jackie. Okay, this is a matchup I haven't actually seen a single time since the patch, so I'm excited to see this. I had absolutely no idea what character to expect from Foxy, because he's been playing so much of the cast since the patch.
I think Devore is going to come out at some point this weekend. At least I hope Devore comes out at some point this weekend. If not from him, definitely I think out of Sonic Fox. Sonic Fox, which we'll talk about later.
He's been
any character we can see.
Oh, for sure. Random select, Habs.
Yep.
Now this matchup is...
Don't give him the idea to just random select win a pro competition, because he will.
Now, I know we've seen Foxy win this matchup before. I believe he beat Kevo in this matchup at EVO, which was, of course, pre-patch. You know, that really is the kind of the main story of this tournament, is that this is the first pro competition event since the patch happened. Big back throw. This is the one that she gets pressure off.
Hasn't changed what I feel could potentially be the
Oh,
matchup.
death.
Which just easy to confirm right there. That sneaky.
This has got to be one of the coolest fatal blows in the game.
Utilizing all the classic ninjas.
Most of them, anyway.
Most of the classic ninjas.
I feel like this would be a really good fatal blow. Like if this was Chameleon instead of Shang. Imagine if that was a Chameleon fatal blow. Oh, that would be glorious.
But this is just a battle of contradicting playstyles. These two characters, right? And that's exactly how Foxy is going to play.
This is come here versus go away.
Yep.
Oh, right to the face.
This is get over here and get over there. Shouts to Warner Brothers at Combo Breaker for having us
oh my God.
record that. Said that mine and yours were the best,
No,
by the way.
But I agree. Tyler's was the worst.
Get over here. Get over here.
But but it was the best worst. Like the second Nubcake move.
Ooh.
Oh, again, I love the patience from Foxy. Foxy is, like, we saw Nubcakes get a lot of mileage, especially against Ladno, of going for those, like, special cancel, like, low shots, the stuff you don't really expect. Foxy is ready for it every time. Big jump kick!
Wow, I'm shocked he got out of the grease kick on the block cancel. That was incredible just to escape, but Nubcake's going to tie something around a piece and has the position that he wants.
That was really clean from Nubcakes as well. We saw him go for that anti-cross up down 3 to make the jump kick whiff, and then he got a trip guard, a full punish. Now this is miserable for Foxy. Corner drops the combo, unfortunately, and oh no! Nubcake's getting hit by that auto shimmy.
Yeah, just a stagger there, the 1-1, into the 1-1, and Nubcake's making the read, probably going to throw after the 1-1 on block. And here's another one. Back throw, gave the max damage in the corner carry, but get backing off.
Oh, that was an anti-air. Nubcakes, does he go for the breakaway? He does. It definitely feels a bit bad, man, when you go for the breakaway or post-patch ground eruption, but when you're that low, you have to. Oh, he must have been convinced.
He believed, yeah.
He must have been convinced that was going to punish. But he's not out of this yet, but chip damage is going to do it.
Gotta watch out for the eruption, and those ground eruptions.
That went up his nose.
They come so quick, and if you even just let go of a block, try to inch forward at all, just get launched.
Honestly, that's why.
So disorienting.
That's why Shang is still good after the nerf, because ground eruption took a big nerf on the damage of the ground eruption itself and the amplify. And considering that's where a huge chunk of his combo damage came from, because ground eruption is Warlocks. It's hit confirm,
everything.
It's launcher, it's conversion tool, it's full screen anti-air, it's full screen punish on block. You know, you can
just
punish
ground eruption
moves.
is why you don't see the other variation ever.
Exactly, but it's taken a considerable damage nerf. His BNBs have literally lost, like, was it 8%, some crazy amount? That's a big nerf. But everything else works exactly the same way. It's still anti-airs. It's still with punishes. It still converts, just not for as much damage.
All of the tools are still there, which is what every character.
Corpse drop is untouched. His buttons are untouched. Like, it's still Shang.
Yeah. And you can say that about every character that was touched in this patch. They are still the same character. Everything is there. It's just slight changes that aren't going to affect gameplay. Massive.
It hasn't ruined them, is the short of it, you know, and that's always what I would say is the goal.
I guess what we're getting to the entire weekend is stop the play.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Foxy, he messed up the punish, but then Nubcakes gets caught by the ground eruption after.
Man.
Oh.
Foxy not going for the link there. I would expect him to have that execution too.
I think he'd much rather, instead of risk dropping it and then being unsafe,
just
use it as a means to just go in and pressure. Because the thing is, like, Foxy has never been known for the best execution. He's more known for his kind of like patience and mind games. Execution has always been one of his weakest.
A more keep it simple approach, right?
I say that, but he was the most consistent at doing the 2-frame Kung Lao link in MKX. But you know, aside from that, his execution's normally kind of it's decent, it's very good, but it's not like his best thing about him. But speaking of which, look at this dominance as he gets one life bar away from winning this pool.
Still, one bar full screen, you're still eating almost 70% health.
It's not bad damage, it's just not as good as it used to be. But it probably was a bit too high. But look at that chip damage. And finally we see the flawless block, Nubcakes. And there we go, the max range dash punch hasn't evened it out, but it's something.
Oh, he's pushing him to the corner. Beautiful anti-air. And I think he anti-aired from so far away or knew the breakaway was coming. That was a nice little stop there by Nubcakes. Either he thought he was going to whiff or miss it, or knew the breakaway was coming.
Oh, he tried to whip punish with the ground eruption, but there's the punish.
Dash punches have gotten him back in this round, but jumps into another eruption.
Oh, this time Nubcakes opted not to go for the breakaway, but he's going to pay the price. No, he keeps himself alive.
Every time he's made that forward movement, it's been there, and it's Foxy Grandpa going to take it 2-0. It looked like Nubcakes finally got going, got a little savage with all these dash punches, but just all the forward movement, burning him in the end, going into the ground eruptions.
But that's just it.
Ate him alive.
It's Foxy's ability to actually keep you away the whole game. You know, like it's very common for a lot of players when they're trying to do keep away, or that maybe they're not really a keep away player and they're playing a character that now has to do it. They'll keep you away for a few seconds. You know, they'll get a couple of projectiles out, but very quickly they'll be like, okay, maybe I should block now. Especially against someone like Jackie that has such just scary forward movement.
Yes.
You know, you might get. Normally you see a lot more dash punches in the matchup because you'll see a lot of health sparks that'll be misplaced and then bam, punish. You'll see a lot of whiff punish with it. You'll see a lot of advancing buttons. But Foxy, again, is so good at knowing where to keep you with this character. That's where you are able to see him literally keep you away for an entire life bar.
That's right.
At a time.
And do you think that Jackie was such a threat up close that was one character that he was like, I'm not going to go for the third brutality. I'm just going to keep doing what's working.
He's a bit of a showman when it comes to throw brutals, but he's not an idiot. Like, he's not actually going to throw away.
Like, would you willingly put yourself in forward 4 range that could kill you to get a throw brutality?
I'm going to cut you off because look at this.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, this is.
Doesn't matter. It was in the past. Let's live in the present.
This.
We got VideoGamesYo versus Dragon.
So newly signed by Beast Coast, of course. Shout out to Beast Coast for this. I mean, to be honest,
hashtag
no-brainer pickup.
waves.
Like, yes, that they have picked themselves a winner here. But I want to say, I think VideoGamesYo could be one of the biggest dark horses of this tournament.
Let's go ahead and give this the official upset alert. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. It's official.
The siren's going off. I can hear it. I'm not going to make a siren noise because that's like really annoying.
No,
I started and I was like, hang on a minute, I'm not going to finish this.
This is a character specialist with a character that is not really out there, not going to have a lot of experience against.
The problem is,
and
VideoGamesYo
is not terrible. The matchup itself, Spear is pretty good with dealing with Center on full screen. It lets you get in. So is the hammer drop.
Look how blue they are.
We'll see what VideoGamesYo's approach is, but Shao Kahn's got tools to close the gaps.
I mean, shoulder charge. I mean, it was a dragon. Shoulder.
Spear, the actual hammer drop itself. What first attracted me to Shao Kahn, I'm like, oh my god, he has something close to a God's map.
That's true.
I mean, I was like, yeah.
But the thing is, VideoGamesYo, you know.
I also said the same about Warrior Predator, and that turned out not to be so great.
I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
But you know that VideoGamesYo has been preparing for this matchup as well.
100%.
But the problem is,
the pool was there.
The way VideoGamesYo plays Shao Kahn, that looks a proper classic Shao Kahn as well. Look at that retro
That's
helmet.
a wonderful set round
but
too, with the tentacles. That's because I'm Aquaman. I'm all about that.
I get that. I see it. Like barnacles under the ocean. But I know for sure that the only way you can really get ready for video games Shao Kahn is to play him. And I don't know if they've played before.
Kronika is no titan.
Mother is the god of gods.
Yet for all her bluster, she failed.
That was a good intro. That was some great dialogue.
Yo, savage. Now, actually, I don't think I've ever seen this matchup actually played. I wonder how it goes.
When it comes to the pro competition, let's go ahead and say probably not. So we are making history here. That +6 in. Ooh, ready to throw. Very close to clipping him on that shoulder too. Barely missed space. Beautiful interrupt too. Not a lot of people have the cojones to press the buttons right there against Citron, which gets into Hell's Wrath.
Now I do know VideoGamesYo.
There we go. He's gonna close the gap here.
Tries. Oh, his movement.
Wave dash.
We haven't even talked about how crisp his movement is.
Oh, and how to stop the teleport. It's gonna be the launcher. Force the breakaway. An early lead for VideoGames, but a wild swing out of the corner from Dragon here is gonna shift momentum.
Okay, Op's not to go for the side swap because he just wants to keep the distance, I think. And there it is, the frame trap. The low geyser.
Look at that, crisp wave dashing into the blocks is exactly what you see out of a character like this.
And look at those like well-timed jump kicks, so it's hard for Dragon to Anya too.
Oh,
that's no hit.
Stagger. If there's a wake-up shoulder charge, maybe right there. Death on whiff as Geyser, but another hit confirmed by Dragon in the side switch. Beautifully executed. This is a great game so far.
No, you see the patience from Dragon too. Yeah, like you're just sitting there and waiting for the shoulder charge. Punished it with that standing one. Didn't even have to move either.
This is exactly what we want to see out of video games too. Playing like he wants to play against someone like Dragon. Because so many players that are new to the scene, new to competitions, they see that they have to play someone like Dragon, and then they respect them way too much. Just play your game. They're just like everyone else.
But look at the control. That's the thing. Dragon is just not letting video games have any momentum here. Oh, and there we go. Another throw. Dragon. Probably not going to move in with this. Yeah, keeping him about that mid-screen distance again. Video Games really trying to harass with these pokes to get some distance back. A big jump kick, but no shoulder charge. I wonder if he expected a breakaway. And there's the counter poke. Annihilation. Oh, tried to punish the roll. Not quite enough. And another one.
This is the tricky stuff. This is some of the Combat League stuff I run into. Poke Annihilation gets me.
Hey man, VideoGamesYo was the first. He's the first, and I believe maybe only Elder God Shao Kahn that has consistently hit Elder God in both seasons. Hit confirmed.
Oh, there's a late breakaway. If he takes this round right now, he's gonna put Dragon in a deficit in the final round.
Oh,
and the Amplify is gonna do it. The damage, the swing. And now Dragon, no breakaway. If he gets opened up early on, Video Games is gonna put himself on a huge health lead.
I mean, he did just use both offensive bars though, so he's gonna cut some damage down. He has one.
This is still about 30% loaded.
Oh, that's real bad for Video Games. That's gonna give Dragon a free escape out of the corner as well. Minor damage, but that's not the big thing there. Well, Spock with the boulder again. Ooh, the pickup.
I wonder if the floss block shaved enough frames off the boulder to potentially get a shoulder punish there. That's just something I'm thinking.
Ooh, speaking of shoulder.
Hello.
Oh, the delay, the confirm into the backbreaker. Oh. Oh, the counter hit. VideoGamez is pressing something. Couldn't quite see what.
Those slight delays on the opponent's knockout have been really good from video games. Looking for those short delays that these pros love to utilize. This is a scary situation right now. Trying to come in with the sweep.
Another one. Oh, misses the punish though. Tried to go for the crushing blow optimal, but a little bit late this time.
Everyone tries. Their quick punishes. The wall gonna get the second hit, and the meaty geyser.
That was a good game though.
Very good stuff from both players. This might go the distance. If Video Games put himself in a winning position there. Had Dragon off his breakaway to start that round, but it was Dragon who got the hits early on to reestablish himself.
It feels like whenever Dragon doesn't have full defensive bar, that's when you see him go hyper, like, I'm just not going to overextend. Because he never loses breakaway and then gets opened up again, right?
Oh yeah, it's very conservative.
He might get hit by a throw here and there, but... Oh, there's a punish!
All right, there goes the breakaway.
Oh, okay, there's an adjustment.
And he didn't have any offensive meter, so he just kept that nice and basic.
Oh, punish!
Loss blocking the up 2 is going to scale incredibly harsh as well, so... Most characters averaging around 18 to 20% in the situation, so really good stuff for video games. Get these falls and blocks.
Yeah, you see him looking for the
and his
force
wave
blocks,
dash
but...
is really good stuff.
Oh, preemptive buttons from Dragon, knowing that VideoGamez is going to come in. Clean stuff.
Those are buttons from Cetron that there is no downside just throwing out a 1-1. There was no downside at all. Ooh, these were playing a scary game. Dragon knows that any hit in a fatal blow is going to do it.
And not even trying to anti-air Dragon, just content, keeping that life lead, does not want to overextend. He gets hit by anything, he's in trouble. Oh, chip damage. Oh, he has one hit. Oh, he tries to jump.
Dragon, I think, knows, because I've seen it multiple times now. He knows one basic principle to fighting Shao Kahn. Don't let him press a button after sweep.
Yep.
You just don't do it.
His minus 2, so it's hard to stop him, but if you are confident enough. Oh, punish! Shoulder charge. Here he comes. Side switch.
That
Scum
air throw
grab.
animation is what I love the throws that just slam you back down into earth.
Oh, no escape this time. VideoGamesYo normally been really good at those, but misses that one, unfortunately. Oh, trade.
That was such a weird trade.
See, every time he's blocked that sweep, Dragon is enforcing a quick button. He does not want to let VideoGamez start offense off it. Big kick confirmed into the shoulder again. The breakaway comes through. Okay, for the first time, we do not see, not even a throw tech, but no escape failed either. Dragon just was content to let them happen. Oh, VideoGamez, it's a little bit antsy. Nice pickup, though. Oh, big hit, but no confirm, VideoGamez.
If you'd have committed, that would have been the round. No breakaway for Dragon here. Oh, just guessing wrong on when this pressure is going to stop.
He's dead. He's
Fatal
dead.
blow.
That's fatal blow.
That is going to do
death.
it. Two great games out of video games. You gotta respect what you saw out of him. He's getting these max shields though. He got all of them. I'm actually really impressed by that alone.
Not enough, unfortunately, as VideoGamesYo is going to drop down. As much as hindsight is a pain.
That was highly competitive though.
Oh, that was
start
good.
to end, he was in that match the entire time. You got to take away nothing but positives if you're video games right there, and you're going to take that in the lower side of the bracket and make a run here. Very impressed. I'm
very confident he can make it work down the losers bracket. You know, unfortunately, as much as it is, I feel like one of the scariest things about coming up against a player like Dragon is to beat them, you pretty much have to play perfect.
Yes.
Because think about it, the one real only mistake VideoGamez made in that game was he woke up with a 1-4, he woke up with buttons, got it, but it was it wasn't hit confirmed into the shoulder charge, which was enough damage because Dragon didn't have full defensive bar at the time. If he hit that combo, he would have won the round. It's one and only mistake.
Exactly. It's just like we talked about against these guys. You make that one mistake.
But then tell me a mistake that Dragon made, perhaps. Maybe the only thing was he tried to punish a shoulder charge one time in round one with the standing 2 instead of standing 1. That's it.
And that's a lot of the unfamiliar I talked about. And that's why
he was winning at the time.
That I also missed punishes on the shoulder because a lot of us like to swing with our quickest button, which would be like a 1-2 or a 1-1.
But it might whiff.
It's a Cetron or 2-1, and you're not in that range because I talked about the pushback of it being pretty good.
You have to kind of like dash. It's one of those moves you have to kind of like do a quick dash up and then cancel.
And a lot of punishes like that in this game. Almost every fatal blow you have to do that. Where you,
for sure.
Where you have to get that movement into your button.
Unless you have like a charging special that just moves you forward. But that's like not optimal.
That launches.
But that does mean that Dragon, of course, is going to be winning that pool as VideoGamesYo. Let's have a quick update as to what's going on in the rest of them. We know for sure that losers of, I believe our next match might actually be Ikesy versus
yes.
Use for Glue. So just getting some words from production. Yeah, no worries, guys.
Production talking to us right now, in that we might be moving to the B block of pools. But right now on the loser's side, WhiteBlack is currently playing Majin Weeaboo. Majin Weeaboo is up 1-0.
Oh.
It looks like. And then the winner of that is going to face Mr. 5000.
So Majin, does that mean Majin Weeaboo beat Undead Jim then, I'm assuming? Use for Glue defeated Ikesy 2-0. And so we're going to do a quick update for those of you watching at home. For what's going on in these pools that we may have missed the games.
Also, guys, the entire venue is having internet issues. We apologize if you guys missed out on any of the action here at Celtic Throwdown. On behalf of all of us, guys, and we hope that you guys can watch as much as you can. But just to let you know, guys know what's going on. There are some issues here with the internet. We're trying to work through them. We're going to go to break, then we're going to make a transition into the B block of pools.
Yes, so the matches that we would have seen but now probably won't, to give you a quick update. So Majin Weeaboo defeated Undead Jim 2-1, so Undead Jim has been eliminated, and Majin Weeaboo is currently 1 game up on WhiteBlack. And the winner of that will be playing Mr. 5000 in losers finals of their pools. Mr. 5000 was able to beat Juicy Joe, and then losers finals for the first pool has happened off stream, which was... I'll just make sure I remember the exact result. It was Use for Glue defeating Ikesy 2-0. But
in the run back, taking it convincingly too.
Yes, no, for sure. So I do want to just take a quick moment to apologize for any internet issues we may be having, of course. Unfortunately, the entire venue is having them, but it's early in the day, so if there is one time to make sure that we have it all ready to go for the rest of the day, let's just make sure we fixed it early. So there are minimal interruptions as we go through the day.
And just give you guys a preview of what's to come in the B block of pools. You're going to see the likes of Hayate, Yamini, Nivik, Dizzy, Zaraka, Maka, Honeybee. I've got a whole list of players, Tekken Master, Fessel, Happy Pal. I can keep naming names. It's going to get crazy.
And that's just B block.
Yeah, that's just a B block. That is what is coming up next, guys. We'll be back with a quick break here at Celtic Throwdown on the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition Stop here in Dublin, Ireland. Don't go anywhere. Possibly.
At some point. At some point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, guys. Real quick, let's go ahead and make the bucks here on the pro competition as we have got some new bands on the pro competition to talk about here.
I mean, not a new band on the competition, but, just like, a little bit of a plug. Of course, huge shouts to Roadrunner Records for supporting the pro competition and keeping us going with an amazing soundtrack as we go through.
That is right, and big thanks to Dinosaur Pileup, which is actually an EU band. We actually have Fever 33 here. So a huge shout out to Fever 33. We'll talk about Dinosaur Pileup when we get back from the break, obviously. But huge shout out to Fever 333 for providing the track Animal off of their album Strength in Numbers as one of our theme songs for the pro competition stop right here at Celtic Throwdown 2019. Guys, don't go anywhere. More Mortal Kombat to come.